Welcome to Chinese Novel Audiobook. Chapter 41 Death of Danzo. Looking at the 10 members of Akatsuki organization. Plus the ghetto statue in Obito. Danzo was in a state of high tension. Obito said, "You are in my way, so you must die." Danzo's eyes focused, and he attacked quickly. Danzo quickly formed a seal and blew out a gust of wind forward. However, it was no use. The breeze dissipated on its own before it even touched the ghetto statue. Danzo knew that he would die today because he had no chance of winning against the Akatsuki organization. Danzo untied the bandage on his arm. Sharingan was revealed one after another. If you count them carefully, there are 10 Sharingans in total. Although Itachi did not wipe out the clan, so many Uchiha people died over the years. It's still easy for Danzo to collect Sharingan. Also, this is the arm that Orochimaru made for Danzo. Obito glanced at Danzo calmly. He said to everyone in Akatsuki, "Kill him. This guy is no longer worth living. I'm going to negotiate." Hidan laughed, "Hey ha ha ha, leave it to me." Itachi stopped Hidan, "Wait. Danzo, how did you get your Sharingan?" Danzo snorted, "What's it got to do with you?" But the next moment, an eternal black flame appeared on Danzo's body. Amaterasu. Moments later, Shimura Danzo was burned to death. However, his body gradually recovered. Itachi said, "It is true. You see, he used the Uchiha clan's forbidden technique Izanagi. In simple terms, using this technique will revive, but it will also consume a Sharingan. In other words, he has 10 chances to be resurrected." After Itachi finished speaking, the space around Obito distorts. He left here because he was going to negotiate with Minato. The negotiations were about the future of the entire ninja world. One Danzo is not worth Obito wasting so much time on. Although Danzo has the extremely lethal 4-image sealing technique, Obito is not worried about the safety of Akatsuki members at all. This meeting, Minato realized something was wrong when Danzo didn't come. When Obito appeared, Minato asked Obito, "Where's Danzo?" Obito showed an innocent expression. "Have no idea." Minato also can't force Obito because they can't beat Obito. Obito asked Minato, "Sensei, what is your decision?" Minato said, "I agree with your plan." Obito smiled, "Smart choice. Sensei, you are still the Hokage. However, you can no longer be called the Fire Country Konoha Village. You are now in the ninja world, Konoha Village. We are the Rain Shinobi Village." Minato said, "But what about the daimyo of the Land of Fire?" Obito smiled, "Don't worry. The Cloud organization has already gone." Minato is Hokage. He agreed. The Konoha Sannin agreed. The major families of Konoha also agreed. The merger of the two villages is a foregone conclusion. The border defenses around Konoha Village and Rain Shinobi Village were also removed. The entire Konoha and Rain Shinobi have truly become one. Rain Shinobi Village has no daimyo. Konoha Village has a daimyo. Obito wanted to laugh. In this village and world belonging to ninjas, there is actually an ordinary person who serves as a daimyo. The news of the merger of Konoha and Rain Shinobi spread throughout the ninja world. Small countries are trembling. Big countries are also very confused. When the old man in Iwagakure heard the news, his eyelids kept twitching. Because he couldn't understand why Minato would agree to merge with Rain Shinobi. This is a disadvantageous thing no matter how you look at it. An old stubborn person like Onoki who only cares about his own interests naturally wouldn't understand. But, Minato and Obito. It is for the future of the entire ninja world. Work hard for a peaceful future for the ninja world. Sunagakure is leaderless. Ross's son, 5th Case became the Case early on. Even so, the actual leaders of Sunagakure are the elderly such as Chiyo. Gaara is still too young. After they learned about the merger of Konoha and Rain Shinobi, Grandma Chiyo was puzzled. However, Gaara said that he thought it was correct. If the two villages are merged, there will be no war, right? Granny Chiyo scolded Gaara. She told Gaara that this idea was wrong. The same goes for Cloud Shinobi Village and Kurigakure. They were puzzled. Originally, there were 5 superpowers: Konoha, Mist Shinobi, Rock Shinobi, Sand Shinobi, Mist Shinobi, Cloud Shinobi. The 5 major ninja villages check and balance each other. However, now Rain Shinobi and Konoha have merged. Suddenly, this balance was disrupted. Konoha gained the power of Rain Shinobi, Konoha gained the power of Akatsuki. However, even if the balance is disrupted, they didn't dare to attack Konoha. Because, I really can't beat it. After the meeting was completed, Obito brought Rin to Kushina's house. Now that Konoha and Rain Shinobi have become one, the original barriers have disappeared. I saw Obito and Lin coming. Kushina went to pick up Sasuke and Naruto. Minato cooked a whole table of food. Naruto and Sasuke love and hate each other. The two of them seem to have developed a special kind of relationship. It's a special feeling similar to that of gay friends. The two of them have been fighting less recently. Because Naruto plans to confess his love to little Sakura, he likes little Sakura very much. But little Sakura likes Sasuke. Sasuke doesn't like little Sakura, he likes his older brother. Time flies. Obito brings Sasuke and Naruto back to Rain Shinobi. Minato is now relieved about Obito. So he wasn't worried that Obito would do something unexpected to Naruto. Arriving at Orochimaru's experimental base, Orochimaru obtained the blood genes of two people. Then Obito sent Naruto and Sasuke back to Konoha. After obtaining the blood genes of two people and having them analyzed by Orochimaru, they can be implanted into one's own body. The village reunited by Konoha and Rain Shinobi is also slowly getting better. It's another night. Obito cooked himself and prepared a table full of food for Lin. But it wasn't delicious, not as good as Minato's. But Lin was still very happy. Obito is too busy. He was always working hard for his dreams and even had less time to spend with Lin. But this doesn't mean that Obito doesn't like Lin anymore. On the contrary, Obito likes Lin more and more. Obito said, if it doesn't taste good, don't eat it. I'll leave it for Neji to eat tomorrow. Lin smiled slightly, no, I think it tastes good. After dinner, Lin grabbed Obito's hand and said firmly, Obito, can you stay with me tonight? You missed my birthday. Lin did not say this. Obito even forgot his own birthday, which made Lin feel a little uneasy. Even though she knew Obito was busy. However, her little emotions always played tricks on her. Her little emotions always made Lin feel uneasy. Obito originally wanted to gather the members of the Akatsuki organization tonight to officially start collecting the tailed beasts. But, looking at Lin, Obito finally softened his heart and nodded slowly, okay. Lin stood on her tiptoes excitedly and kissed Obito on the lips. Tonight, Obito held Lin in his arms while he slept. He tested it himself and proved his guess. Lin. Definitely have D. Chapter 42 You Can't Learn. Obito looked Rin in the eyes. Hypnosis of the three tails in Lin's body. Because what happens next is not suitable for children. A night of silence. The world is changing. Three Tails was confused. What was going on? Laozi was sealed while he was sleeping. I'm just a turtle. Why are you guarding against me? In the next few days, Obito and Lin lived a shameless life. Obito also took a long-awaited vacation. A week later, Obito is out of isolation. He returned to Orochimaru's experimental base. He watched Orochimaru doing experiments, and Orochimaru was excited to see Obito coming. Because, he analyzed Sasuke and Naruto's blood. Naruto and Sasuke's blood is common. It couldn't be more ordinary, but that's exactly what makes it abnormal. The blood samples of the Uchiha and Uzumaki clans can't be so ordinary. Orochimaru tried to fuse the two bloods, but when the two extremely ordinary bloods were fused together, amazing power erupted. The petri dish fell apart. All of Orochimaru's experiments were assisted by Yakushi Kabuto, but others are ultimately inferior to him. Orochimaru wanted his hands back. Obito said, I know how to unlock the seal of the Shiki. Then Obito stomped the ground, Uzumaki. The white Zetsu in Uzumaki's head came out. Obito rarely used it, but it still followed Obito. Obito said to it, bring back a white Zetsu. Send it here. The whirlpool white Zetsu nodded and disappeared into the ground. Obito said to Orochimaru, the method to unlock the seal of a ghoul is very simple. First, you need to go to the ruins of the Uzumaki clan. There is a Nanmendu in the ruins of the Uzumaki clan. Nanmendu collects all the masks of the Uzumaki clan. You found the Shinigami mask representing the Shiki Fujin. After you bring it back, find a quiet place, put on the mask, and summon the Shinigami. Then cut open the Shinigami's belly, and cut open the belly of this body of yours. Then the souls of your hands will be freed, and you will then use living corpse reincarnation to occupy White Zetsu's body. Obito told Orochimaru in detail how to release the seal on the Shiki. Then Obito disappeared from the spot. Konoha. Minato looked at Obito. What, you want to learn senjutsu? Obito nodded. Minato said modestly, to be honest, I'm not good at senjutsu. This thing is too difficult to learn, and it's not very useful. Why do you want to learn it? Obito said, I want to improve my strength. Besides, teacher, immortal arts are very powerful. Thought for a long time. Obito still chooses to learn the Mount Myoboku Senjutsu first. Then, go and learn the Raichi Cave magic. Finally, learn the Wet Bone Forest immortal art. What are the side effects and what are not? I want them all. Obito has the eyes of Uchiha and a body made of Hashirama's cells. Obito's upper limit is extremely high. Obito's body is best suited for fire style, and he is able to use a variety of fire style. The senjutsu at Mount Myoboku is mild, while the senjutsu at Raichi Cave is violent. What if I learn Mount Myoboku and Raichi Cave plus the sage mode of the Wet Bone Forest at the same time? Minato thought for a moment and said, the last time I went to Mount Myoboku, it was Jiraiya-sensei who took me there. Jiraiya. Obito found Jiraiya. Today, Jiraiya rarely went to look for Tsunade. Instead, he was sitting upright on a futon, seemingly waiting for Obito. Obito arrives, and Jiraiya asks, do you want to learn Mount Myoboku's sage mode? Obito nodded. How do you know? Jiraiya answered the question irrelevantly, back then, I used the reverse summoning technique and accidentally went to Mount Myoboku. And today, you came to me. The Great Toad Immortal had expected this. He entrusted me. If the Uchiha guy wants to go to Mount Myoboku, I can't take him there. The Uchiha is an evil spirit that will pollute that holy place. So, just let him go by himself. After saying that, Jiraiya turned into white mist and disappeared on the spot. He used the reverse summoning technique and went to Mount Myoboku. Obito's eyes were full of gloom. Did the great sage Toad expect that the Uchiha guys would want to learn immortal arts? So why did Jiraiya wait so early and say these words to me? That guy, there's something about him. I actually guessed it right. Moreover, Gamma Sage also said that Uchiha's evil soul would pollute that holy land. Did you learn this from second generation? However, he still gave Obito a chance. Otherwise, there would be no need for him to let Jiraiya talk so much nonsense. This opportunity. It's Kamui. Obito's Kamui is a top-level space-time technique. It can connect various spaces. Even when Kagaya's bloodline was encircling the space in Aim No Go, Obito could use Kamui to break the connection. The reverse summoning technique, after all, is just a space-time ninjutsu. Obito doesn't believe that the reverse summoning technique will be stronger than Kagaya's Aim no Mikoto. Obito's eyes turned into two Kamui. He was closely sensing the fluctuations in the surrounding space until Obito's eyes lit up. The space twisted and Obito disappeared from where he was. When Obito opened his eyes again, he came to a paradise. Regardless of the consequences, Obito left the Kamui mark on the ground first. Obito then looked at Mount Myoboku. Gigantic plants, huge leaves and flowers. In the distance, there was a huge toad playing around. Obito smiled slightly and said, what can I say that I can't come to Mount Myoboku? I come when I remember and leave when I want. Before Obito could take 2 steps, 2 relatively small toads appeared. Old man, is he the evil imp the immortal was talking about? Look at his blood-red eyes, that should be it. Obito looked at Fukusaku and Shima in front of him. They said to Obito, kid, tell me your name. Obito said, Uchiha Obito, I came to Mount Myoboku to learn Sage Mode. Shima Sennin smiled, he, a guy from the Uchiha clan. We dare not teach you recklessly, you, the immortal has the final say. Great Toad Sage. Fukusaku Sennin nodded, yes, we have been waiting for a long time. Fukusaku and Shima brought Obito to the palace where the Great Toad Sage was. Before he could enter, an old voice came from inside, Fukusaku, Shima, let this little guy come in by himself. Fukusaku and Shima nodded, and Obito opened the door and walked in. What you see is an old toad that looks very old. And Jiraiya sat on a futon under the old toad. Gamamaru said to Obito, Uchiha's brat, how did you come to Mount Myoboku? Obito was not modest, I want to learn Sage Mode. I came. The Great Toad Sage looked at Obito's blood-red eyes. He seemed to remember something, and then he laughed, ha ha ha, it's been a long time since anyone came to Mount Myoboku with eyes like this. The last person to come to Mount Myoboku with the Mangekyō Sharingan was Indra. Because of what Indra did, Mount Myoboku prevented Indra's descendants from coming to Mount Myoboku. They will abuse this power. Obito could sense that Toad Sage had a huge amount of natural energy in his body. The amount of natural energy reserves was so great that even Obito was a little shocked. Obito said, "Now, I am here. I want to learn Mount Myoboku's Sage Mode. I believe Jiraiya has already told you my plan. I am the son of prophecy that you mentioned. I will change this ninja world for the better." The Great Toad Sage smiled and said, "That's why I'm giving you a chance to come to Mount Myoboku. You have ambitions that no one else has. But, go away, you can't learn it. Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. Chapter 43 Sage Mode. Can't learn it?" Obito asked back. The Great Toad Sage just glanced at Obito and didn't say much. Obito said, "Is it me who can't learn, or do you not want me to learn?" Great Toad Sage sighed, "As long as they are human. Once one becomes too powerful, he will become evil. Your current strength is enough for you to dominate the ninja world, but why do you insist on learning Sage Mode? This is the case with Kagaya, Indra, and even more so with Uchiha Madara." Obito smiled, "Great Toad Sage. Do you know 10 Tails?" Jiraiya frowned, but the Great Toad Sage nodded. Obito said, "I can sense the immense natural power within you, but how does this power compare to 10 Tails?" Great Toad Sage said, "There is a difference between a firefly and the full moon." Obito said, "What if I put the Geto statue, the shell of 10 Tails, on Mount Myoboku?" Jiraiya yelled, "Obito, don't be disrespectful to the immortal." The Great Toad Sage glanced at Obito, and a sense of oppression came over him. Obito turns on Mangekyō. He is always ready to escape, and before escaping, he releases the Geto statue. Great Toad Sage suddenly smiled. He asked, "These eyes of mine can see the future. But, after seeing you, I can't see it anymore. The future becomes foggy. You are a variable in the ninja world, and that is worthy of recognition, but I don't know whether it is a good thing or a bad thing. So, I don't want to teach you the immortal technique. Not only me, Beishin Katsuyu won't teach you either. If your goal is to unify the ninja world and achieve peace, no need to learn Sage Mode. But why are you so persistent in learning Sage Mode?" Quote. Obito glanced at Jiraiya. Great Toad Sage understood. It waved its hand and Jiraiya disappeared from the spot. Obito said, "I want to know if the Sage Modes of the 3 heritage sites can be integrated." Great Toad Sage said, "The 3 major Sage Modes, in essence, all use the power of nature. It's just that the way they are used is very different. In theory, they can be integrated." The Great Toad Sage looked at Obito. "Now, can you tell me why you learned the Sage technique?" Obito said, "Do you know Otsutsuki?" The Great Toad Sage nodded. He knew about the feather cloth. He and Yuya used to be friends. So naturally he knew about the Otsutsuki clan. Obito said, "It's good to know. You can see through the fog with eyes that can see the future. Behind the fog, it's Otsutsuki that's wreaking havoc on the ninja world." After Obito finished speaking, he remained silent. When the Great Toad Sage heard what Obito said, he tried to look into the future until his eyes were almost blinded. Finally, a white figure was seen descending into the ninja world from the space crack. He was born with the Rinnegan. Seeing this, Great Toad Sage's glasses fell off. The cost of seeing through the fog and forcing one's way to the future is too high. Great Toad Sage said tiredly, "Let Shima teach you how to use Sage Mode." I saw. After Obito came out, he told the Great Toad Sage's original words to Shima and Fukasaku. There are some differences between them. Shima, I can't believe this is the decision of the Great Immortal. Fukasaku, old woman, stop talking so much. The Great Immortal can see the future, so we should just listen to what he says. Shima, but, I feel uncomfortable just thinking about asking this cocky kid to teach Sage Mode. Fukasaku, stop talking, come on, kid. Obito followed the 2 toads to a waterfall, then Obito sat cross-legged on a rock and listened to the tips of Shima's Sennin and Fukasaku Sennin. Shima, first of all, the practitioner himself has a lot of chakra. If not, he will be devoured by the power of nature. Fukasaku, secondly, you need to learn how to absorb natural energy. First, you need to master the trick of absorbing natural energy. Once you get used to it, you don't need to use anything. You can start practicing to control natural energy. In other words, you can absorb natural energy only if you don't move. Shima, next, one of the principles of Sage Mode is, only by having the perseverance to never give up can you become a sage. Fukasaku, the last point is the most important. Ninjutsu chakra also requires a balance between spiritual energy and physical energy. On this basis, natural energy is added to achieve a balance. This is the most difficult practice. If the natural energy is insufficient, you cannot learn Senjutsu chakra. If the natural energy is too much, you will become a frog, and in serious cases, you will become petrified. Therefore, the absorbed natural energy must be combined with one's own physical energy and spiritual energy, and the three energies must be balanced in a 1:1 ratio, in order to condense the immortal chakra. When the facial makeup appears, it means that the sage mode has been successful. Obito nodded after hearing this. Mount Myoboku's sage mode cannot last for a long time, and can only be maintained for about 5 minutes. Since it needs to be motionless to absorb natural energy, and it is impossible for a sage mode person to remain motionless during a battle, the sage art Ryousijutsu was created. This is a technique that allows the toad sage to merge with a part of one's body and continue to maintain a combat state. To put it simply, it increases the maintenance time of the Mount Myoboku sage mode, separates the stillness of gathering natural energy and the movement of fighting, and utilizes the sage mode to the maximum extent. To sense natural energy, you need to apply toad oil. Obito refused, because toad oil is sticky and disgusting. Shima Sennin said angrily, if you don't use the toad oil, you won't be able to sense the magic. Obito remained noncommittal. Half of his body is Hashirama cells. This extremely active cell is naturally friendly to energy, and Obito has used the Geto statue many times. At worst, the Geto statue is just a shell of 10 tails. 10 tails' body is filled with natural energy. So, Obito knows what natural energy is. With the help of multiple factors, Obito quickly sensed the natural energy. The trick to creating Senjutsu chakra is to balance the three energies of natural energy, chakra, and mental power in a ratio of 1:1 to create Senjutsu chakra. As a member of the Uchiha clan, Obito's control over spirit and chakra is also ultimate. After the three energies merged, Obito quickly felt a whole new power. That is the magic chakra. This chakra is amazing. Obito opened his eyes. His Kamui eyes did not change, but a black diamond-shaped hollow diamond mark appeared on his forehead, which looked very similar to Tsunade's 100 healings mark. After seeing this scene, both Shima and Fukusaku were stunned. Because they didn't expect it. Obito actually mastered sage mode so quickly. Obito smiled slightly. This power was very strong, but it could only last for 5 minutes. And you need to charge to enter sage mode. But that's enough. Obito rejected the request of Shima Sennin and Fukusaku Sennin to combine their sage art. Because Obito doesn't need it. He couldn't think of anyone in the ninja world who could fight him for more than 5 minutes without losing. Kamui 1 attack and 1 defense. Fire style is unparalleled in the world. 10 tails stood behind him. If that doesn't work, then ask for help. Where are the members of Akatsuki? Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 44 Second Target. After learning Sage Mode, Obito left Mount Myoboku. The mission remaining at Mount Myoboku is accomplished. Just learn Sage Mode. The space flickered, and Obito returned to the Rain Shinobi village. Orochimaru had successfully unlocked both hands. He followed Obito's steps and carried them out step by step. The more it is implemented, the more frightening it becomes. Because, every word Obito said was correct. Yakushi Kabuto said to Orochimaru, "My lord, I want to become stronger." Orochimaru smiled, "Oh, why do you want to become stronger?" Yakushi Kabuto said, "Lord Orochimaru, I want to be the sword in your hand. This way, you will never lose your hands again." Orochimaru smiled and nodded. "Your future is in your own hands." With that, Orochimaru left. He gained both hands, so he needed to analyze the bloodline factors of Naruto and Sasuke and then transplant them into Obito's body. This is the only way to live up to Obito's trust. Orochimaru retains the base body of Naruto and Sasuke's blood. Then a copy of the blood was made using perfect cloning technology. During the experiment, Orochimaru discovered that the mixture of Naruto and Sasuke's blood could produce a force that could destroy everything. However, after adding Hashirama cells, the activity of Hashirama cells seemed to effectively alleviate this damage. However, it won't last long before this destructive force arises again. Orochimaru added Hashirama cells again and again to neutralize. It was not until the 5th time that the destructive force was effectively weakened. The 10th time, the destructive force began to slowly disappear. For the 15th time, the three forces seemed to have achieved coexistence. Orochimaru smiled. He seemed to have found a solution. Do an experiment with Hidan sometime. Meanwhile, Yakushi Kabuto was thinking about what Orochimaru said. Your future is in your own hands. Yakushi Kabuto understands. Lord Orochimaru meant for me to become stronger. Yakushi Kabuto has been following Orochimaru for so many years. Yakushi Kabuto also has a lot of control over Orochimaru's experimental data. So, he tried to inject Orochimaru's blood mixed with the curse seal into his own body. Severe pain swept over Yakushi Kabuto. His skin began to turn pale. His body became weak. Snake scales appeared on his body. It failed, the first transfusion of Orochimaru-sama's blood. It failed. Yakushi Kabuto lol. Then continued to tinker with the potion. He didn't care about pharmacology, nor did he care about rejection reactions. He didn't care about anything. He went crazy and began to inject various drugs into his body. But Yakushi Kabuto is not Hidan, he does not have that kind of terrifying physical recovery ability. So Yakushi Kabuto transfused Hidan's blood into his own body. Located at the intersection of Sunagakur and Rain Shinobi Village. Obito's next target is Sunagakur. Also, Sunagakur is weak right now. Even the tailed beasts only have one tail. It's the same as the Shet fox, but a crazier Shet civet cat. Return to home. Lin saw Obito and hugged him. Obito also smiled for the first time in a long time. At home, Lin is practicing cooking. Neji tried it and his face turned green from eating it. When Obito saw this, the corners of his mouth twitched. Obito said to Lin, "You take a rest. I will cook today." Lin nodded. Neji was also relieved. He quickly took Hinata to the side and whispered to Hinata, "Luckily you didn't eat it. The food that Sister Lin cooks is really terrible." Quote. Hinata looked innocent, and then she watched Obito go to cook. "How bad is it? I mistook washing clothes for salt." Obito's meals are simple. A potato, a tomato and egg, and a piece of barbecue. Finally, a serving of noodles. After finishing, Obito said with a smile, "Neji, try it." Neji said instinctively, "Never mind, I'm full." Obito said, "I see. I was originally planning to teach you how to put out a fire, but that's it." Neji gritted his teeth. "I'm not full. Potatoes, too bland. Tomatoes, too salty. Barbecue, I'm afraid it was grilled using fire style, it's all burnt." Finally, Neji tasted it. Only the noodles could be swallowed. Seeing Neji's reaction, Obito still wanted to cook. But Neji said, I'll do it." Obito looked at Neji with satisfaction, "Haha, you've grown up." Neji has some talent in cooking. The food is delicious. Not as good as Minato, but still good. At night, Obito sent Neji and Hinata to Konan's care. Then went back home. Obito's eyes turned red. Three tails in Lin's body suddenly spoke, "Wait. You want to hypnosis me again?" Obito said, "Yes. Iso, why are you hypnosising me? Can't we talk it over? I'm a turtle, why are you guarding me? Last time, I didn't see the sun for several days." Without waiting for Three Tails to finish, Obito hypnosis Three Tails again. Next. 3 days later, Obito arrived at Akatsuki's headquarters. This time, Obito saw Nagato after a long time. Nagato appeared in front of Obito wearing Akatsuki's red cloud robe. Nagato, who is behind the scenes, doesn't come out often. Obito asked Nagato, "What's wrong?" Nagato said, "I want to give these eyes to Yahiko." Obito was a little different, "Why?" Nagato said, "Because Yahiko needs it more than I do. You do not know. Every day, Yahiko feels the heart-wrenching pain, and I don't want him to suffer that much." Quote. Obito said, "But, this pain. This is the price you pay to gain the power of heaven. This is the result of his making some trade-offs. This is his own choice. Although it was painful to gain pain's power, he also enjoyed it." Nagato said, "So I gave my eyes to Yahiko. This way, he won't lose his strength, and he won't feel pain. I'm of no use anyway." Obito looked at Nagato and said, "Everyone is unique and irreplaceable. Have you ever wondered why you are the one with these eyes? Because no one else can use these eyes. If Yahiko gets your eyes, he will die quickly. Feeling pain and gaining strength is his choice. Also, don't say you are useless. This time, I need you." Sunagakur. Sunagakur is Obito's second target. Sunagakur is also adjacent to Rain Shinobi Village. Obito's target from the beginning was only the big countries, there was no need to waste time on the small countries. Because as long as Obito conquers the big country, like the land of grass, the land of hot springs, These small countries were caught in the cracks and had nowhere to survive, so they could only submit to Obito. So there is no need for Obito to waste time on small countries. So, this time Obito's target is Sunagakur. 5th Kazekage Gaara of Sunagakur was just a child. Therefore, the only obstacles Obito faces this time are a few old stubborn people including Chiyo. Obito didn't take it seriously. This time, going to Sunagakur, Obito has 3 goals. One is one-tail Shukaku. The second is to subdue the Sand Shinobi. The third is Chiyo's Kisei reincarnation technique. And Obito only brought a few people with him, himself, Nagato, and Uchiha Shisui. There is also Chiyo's grandson, Scorpion of the Red Sand. Finally, there is Deidara, who is eager to prove her art to Scorpion. But on the way, Obito regretted bringing these 2 people. Deidara, explosions are art. Scorpion, puppetry is art. Deidara, the beauty created by a momentary explosion is art. Scorpion, eternal beauty is art. Quote. Quote. Chapter 45 Eternal Immortality. The 2 people have been discussing what art is on the road. Obito's ears were annoyed by what he heard. This time when going to Sunagakur, Obito did not choose to use Kamui. He chose, bird walk. That is, fly over on the bird standing on Deidara. However, the 2 were too noisy. Seeing this, Nagato bit his finger and used the summoning technique directly in the air. Summoning technique, 3-legged crow. The next moment, a green 3-legged crow appeared out of thin air. Obito, Nagato and Shisui head towards Sunagakur on the 3 clan crows. Deidara and Scorpion were still discussing art on the bird. The 2 people have their own, artistic concepts. One who believes that the ultimate explosion is art. Another believes that eternal beauty is art. Obito thinks that Rin is art. But he didn't bother to argue with these 2 people. Directly south of Rain Shinobi Village is Sunagakur, the Kingdom of Wind. Obito's goal this time is very direct. That is to kill Chiyo and let Shisui change Gaara's mind briefly. There is no need to use Distinguished Heavenly Gods, which has been on a 15-year cooldown. Instead, it allowed G to temporarily change Gaara's mind and make him think that he should cooperate with Rain Shinobi Village. Just let Shisui implant such memory into Gaara's mind out of thin air. But, Gaara has a tailed beast inside him. Shisui's genjutsu might not work on Gaara. But it doesn't matter. The tailed beasts are in the way, so wouldn't it be better to extract them? Arrive at Sunagakur. The 3-legged crow flew higher. Obito said to the 2 people on the clay birds, "Now, go show your art." Deidara's face was filled with excitement. He dropped a giant centipede straight from the bird. Kai. Suddenly, violent explosions and bright lights sounded throughout the sky above Sunagakur. Obito asked Scorpion, "If you can't let go, I will help." Scorpion sneered, "I just want to take another look at this village. My only attachment to this village is my parents. And then there's that old woman. My parents died in the war. So, I hate war, and I also want to build that perfect world with you. Whoever stands in my way is my enemy. Including everyone." Quote. After saying that, Scorpion summoned 3rd Kazekage, and then 3rd Kazekage flew up and landed with Scorpion. Obito, Nagato and the other 2 just stood on the bird and watched. Their attitude towards Sunagakur was not like that towards Konoha. There is still room for negotiation in Konoha. And Sunagakur, in one word, do it. Deidara's bomb marked the beginning of the battle. 5th Kazekage Gaara came out. He looked at Deidara and recognized Deidara's red cloud robe. Akatsuki Organization, why did you come to Sunagakur? Are we going to go to war with the Sand Shinobi? Deidara laughed, "Are you a child to ask such an innocent question?" Granny Chiyo and Ebizo also came out slowly. The 2 of them are high-ranking officials of Sunagakur. He is also Sunagakur's senior puppeteer. But at this moment, a young voice appeared from the air. "Your enemy is me." Granny Chiyo and Ebizo looked over. Then their expressions changed. Scorpion smiled and said, "Sunagakur, join the Rain Shinobi Village." Chiyo yelled, "Impossible." Scorpion said, "No matter who it is, as long as they prevent us from building a new world, they are our enemy. No matter who they are, we will defeat them. There is no difficulty that can stump us, Akatsuki." After saying that, Scorpion used his 10 fingers to control the 3rd Kazekage and attack the 2 of them. Chiyo and Ebizo also summoned their respective puppets to fight with Scorpion. Although Granny Chiyo and Ebizo are veteran puppeteers, They have far more combat experience than Scorpion. However, when it comes to puppetry, Scorpion is a true genius. The lack of combat experience can be fully compensated by relying on superb operating techniques. So, Scorpio was fighting 1 against 2 and still not at a disadvantage. During the fight, Chiyo's puppet scratched Scorpion's clothes and tore his clothes, but no blood flowed out. Suddenly, Chiyo was shocked. "Xie, why is it that after so many years, your appearance has not changed at all?" Scorpion sneered, "None of your business. You transformed yourself into a puppet." Granny Chiyo yelled at Scorpion. Scorpion smiled and said slowly, "Not bad, very smart, but useless." Scorpion took off his clothes, but then he remembered something and put the clothes back on. Scorpion unzipped his coat, revealing his modified body. He said proudly, "See, this is real art. Eternal beauty is art." "You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy." Scorpion didn't say much. Blades appeared on all of his joints. The blades rotated and cut the sleeves of Hongyun's robe. But Scorpio still refused to take off his clothes. There are steel wires in the Scorpion's stomach. Scorpion controlled the third cage while controlling his own body to fight. Suddenly, the battle became one-sided. Scorpio is too strong. He started to beat the two of them. At this moment, Chiyo stepped back and looked at Scorpion with a serious expression. "Do you know what the limit of puppetry is?" Chiyo didn't wait for Scorpion to answer and continued, "That means controlling multiple puppets." "Have I taught you this before?" A normal puppeteer relies on the chakra strings wrapped around his fingertips to pull the puppet's joints to make the puppet perform various movements. However, the difficulty doubles with each additional puppet you control. And my limit is controlling 10 puppets. I once used this secret book to defeat hundreds of people. After that, Chiyo's huge secret scroll unfolded in front of her, and she shouted, "White secret book, Jinsong Jujinwei." Then, 10 white puppets of different shapes appeared in front of Chiyo. Chiyo looked at Scorpion with a serious expression. Scorpion laughed, "Control 10 puppets. This secret book can defeat 100 people. Ridiculous. Let me show you my secret book. I once used it to destroy a country." Scorpion took out a secret scroll and unfolded it. The next moment, densely packed puppets were summoned, and chakra lines appeared at the heart of Scorpion's chest, connecting the puppets. There were hundreds of puppets in the sky. Scorpion said calmly, "Red secret book, 100 machines maneuver." Chiyo was stunned. Ebizo was also stunned. Scorpio is a true genius. This puppet art is fascinating. Chiyo was facing a formidable enemy. Superior. Chikamatsu Juninwei and Hyakuji performed a fight between gods. He killed Ebizo on the spot. Chikamatsu Jurei's individual combat power is strong, but the number of 100 machines in operation is large. Scorpion had countless opportunities to kill Chiyo. However, Scorpio still hesitated. He still couldn't bear to kill his last relative. All of the puppets of the Chikamatsu 10 guards were damaged, but most of Scorpion's puppets were still floating in the sky. Chiyo looked at the heart in Scorpion's chest. She seemed to have made a big decision. Then 2 more puppets were summoned, and these 2 puppets were very weak. However, after seeing this, the Scorpion seemed to be under a spell and could not move. He watched helplessly as the 2 puppets rushed towards him. The corners of the Scorpion's eyes gradually became moist. These 2 puppets were made by Scorpion when he was a child. The names are Father and Mother, representing one's father and mother. Scorpion's parents were killed during World War II. But Chiyo has been lying to Scorpion. Scorpion's longing for his parents made him create these 2 puppets. When Scorpion saw these 2 puppets, he felt as if he saw his own parents. But, the next moment. However, the father and mother thrust their swords into the core of the Scorpion. Scorpion was a little bit unbelievable. He tried to hug his father and mother, but his hands passed through them. Obito slowly appeared from behind Scorpion. Obito touched Scorpion's shoulder and said, "See. You have countless opportunities to kill Chiyo. But you didn't. But Chiyo wants to kill you. She should know that the core of your chest is your true self." Scorpion looked at his chest with dull eyes. The parent's sword stabbed in. However, Obito has already hollowed out the Scorpion. So, the parent's sword only pierced the Scorpion but did not hurt it. Scorpion smiled, a helpless smile. The smile was very desperate. From the beginning, Scorpion had no intention of killing his grandmother, but she wanted to kill Scorpion. Scorpion put away the father and mother puppets and the 100 machines operators. He said to Chiyo calmly, "You don't deserve these 2 puppets." The next moment, Sasori controlled the third cage to bind Chiyo. He didn't kill Chiyo, not because he was soft-hearted. But, because it is still useful for her. Scorpio is more determined in his art. Eternal beauty. Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. Chapter 46, One-Tail Shukaku. The battle ended on Scorpion's side. But he didn't seem very happy. He cut off his last family ties. Dot 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 dot. And the other side. Compared to the pessimism of Scorpio, Deidara was very happy. Deidara kept dropping clay bombs on the bird. Stuck. Stuck. The sound of explosions continued to ring out. When Deidara was about to throw the bomb, a figure appeared behind Gaara, and Deidara stopped throwing bombs. No, I haven't shown my art yet. Obito appeared behind Gaara. Obito then captured Gaara. He seemed to be suppressing something and looked extremely painful. Obito said to Deidara, "Stop playing. The mission is almost complete." Kamui. The next moment, space distorted and Gaara was absorbed into the Kamui space. In Kamui space, the chains wrapped around Gaara, making him unable to move at all. There was pain on his face. Obito sat in front of Gaara and asked Gaara, "Do you know who I am?" Gaara nodded, "I know." "Then do you know what I'm here for?" "Merge with Sunagaku." Obito nodded, "So what do you think?" Gaara said painfully, "I don't want to merge." "Why?" "Because, I am the Kazekage, and my mission is to protect Sunagaku." Obito smiled, "Do you know how many people from Sunagaku died in the last Third Ninja World War?" Tens of thousands of people. The original intention of building a village is to protect the villagers. However, how many people will die if a war breaks out? How many children will lose their parents and how many people will be displaced? Don't you know? You have not experienced war, so you don't know the cruelty of war. But we have been through it. That's why we hate war. I know that if we want to unify the ninja world, war is inevitable. So, I will use the most peaceful way to negotiate with you. Gaara ideographic period. Think about it carefully, what kind of future would be more suitable for this ninja world? Is the war going on? Or is it peaceful? Gaara was stunned, because he felt that what Obito said made so much sense. Gaara said with difficulty, "Why should I believe you?" Obito smiled, "How naive. You have no reason to reject me. Because no matter what you choose, the result is the same. This time I came on my own. Next time, I will bring all the members of Akatsuki with me." Gaara is a smart man. If Akatsuki really started a war without considering the consequences, Sunagaku would not have the strength to resist at the moment. Therefore, Gaara's smartest choice. I can only agree. This will minimize Sunagaku's losses. Gaara agreed, "Okay, I agree." Gaara's forehead was already covered with veins, and Obito said, "Smart boy. Also, if you can't help it, don't endure it. Next, I will give you the first gift." Obito finished saying this. Gaara closed his eyes. However, an even more violent aura came, accompanied by an arrogant voice, "Hey ha 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 ha." The old man finally came out. "Little devil, your body is mine." In Kamui's space, grains of sand appeared out of thin air. Grains of sand form a small desert. Gaara's figure gradually expanded until it became a giant raccoon cat. Obito looked at Shukaku and greeted, "Hello, One-Tail Shukaku." Shukaku looked at Obito with his copper eyes, "Who are you? How do you know my name?" Obito said slowly, "Uchiha Madara." Shukaku was shocked. "Impossible, this guy died a long time ago." Obito smiled slightly. As expected, every tailed beast had been educated by Madara and Hashirama to some extent. Obito said nothing. His goal is to separate Shukaku from Gaara's body. And Obito just wanted to try out the magic he had just learned. Obito just looked at Shukaku. He is absorbing natural energy. Shukaku was very annoyed by being watched. He shouted and attacked Obito, but every attack passed through Obito. For Obito who has Hollow, there is basically no Sage Mode casting time. Because I have Kamui. A moment later, a diamond-shaped hollow diamond mark appeared on Obito's forehead. This means that Obito has entered Sage Mode. Obito quickly formed hand seals. Sage Art, Fire Style, Great Fire Extinguishment. Obito spewed out large bursts of flames. The flames were much more powerful than before. Shukaku's body is sand. The high-temperature flame melted the layer of sand on the surface of Shukaku's body into glass. Obito felt the power of Sage Mode. The power of Fire Style has almost doubled. Not bad. After trying out Sage Mode, Obito no longer plans to play with Shukaku. Shukaku angrily smashed the glass on the exterior. He looked at Obito angrily. "You're looking for death. How dare you tease me like this? Obito said, don't be so crazy, I'll show you something good. The next moment, Obito's eyes transformed into Mangekyō. Geto statue. Space distorted, and a huge Geto statue appeared behind Obito. The arrogant Shukaku was shocked when he saw the Geto statue. It screamed, impossible, impossible, how come you have this thing? Absolutely impossible. Quote. Obito scoffed, haha, nothing is impossible. A purple chain appears inside the Geto statue's mouth. The chain wrapped around One Tail, dragging it continuously. One Tail is no longer arrogant. It screamed in panic, no, you can't do this. If you pull me out, Jinchuriki will die too. Obito sneered, I won't bother you with your heart. The Geto statue seems to have a natural restraint on the tailed beasts. One Tail had no way to resist and was dragged out by Obito. Only the dying Gaara was left. Obito looked at the trembling One Tail and chose not to put him into the Geto statue. One Tail has another use. Outside, Gaara's corpse was thrown out. It was thrown in front of Chiyo. Scorpion let go of Chiyo, and Chiyo hugged Gaara. What did you do? Obito said, we just threw out One Tail. Our goal, from the beginning, was One Tail. Chiyo looked at everyone angrily. If the tailed beast is extracted, the Jinchuriki will die. Obito said, I know, but what the hell does it have to do with me? You. Chiyo glanced at everyone angrily, and she seemed to have made up her mind. She used Kisei reincarnation to transfer her life force to Gaara. Scorpion felt a little unhappy when he saw this. As my own grandmother. He wanted to kill himself. Now, she gave her life force to Gaara. After transferring her vitality, Chiyo did not die instantly. Just at this moment, Nagato appeared. He grabbed Chiyo's head. The human way. The purple soul was extracted by Nagato, and Nagato read the information in Chiyo's mind. Finally, Nagato saw Jisei Tensai and White Secret Book, Chikamatsu Jurei. Nagato stripped away both of these techniques. Jisei reincarnation was Obito's request. Chikamatsu Juninbei was prepared by Nagato for Sasori. Chapter 47, Appearance Restoration. Gaara gained life force. His breathing gradually became steady. Shisui pried open Gaara's eyelids and looked into his eyes. After a moment, Shisui put Gaara down. At this point, Sunagaku's mission was perfectly completed. Chiyo is dead, Ebizo is dead. The entire Sunagaku follows Gaara's lead. He is now the only senior executive in Sunagaku. Gaara determines the future of Sunagaku. After Gaara woke up, he announced to the entire Sunagaku that Sand Shinobi had officially merged with Rain Shinobi Village. This news caused an uproar in the entire ninja world. But Gaara didn't care. He firmly believes that his choice is correct. Return to Rain Shinobi Village. Nagato sorted out two techniques from his mind. One is self-reincarnation. The other one is White Secret Book, 10 Guards of Jinsong. He gave the Kisei reincarnation technique to Obito. Give the White Secret Book to Scorpion. Sunagaku's work has been completed perfectly. Obito comes to Kamui space. He looked at Shukaku, who was trembling with fear at the Geto statue in Kamui space. Obito said to Shukaku, I will not kill you now. But you better be honest. Shukaku nodded quickly, honest, of course I'm honest. I am the most honest. Quote. Obito nodded. He twisted some sand off Shukaku's body using Kamui's power. Obito thought about it, the Geto statue cannot be wasted. The 9-tailed beasts cannot be wasted. But Obito doesn't plan to give the tailed beast to the Geto statue. Because it's such a waste. The Geto statue can absorb the tail of 8 tails, and can also absorb the golden horn and silver horn that have swallowed part of 9 tails. Therefore, Obito planned to let Orochimaru cultivate the chakra of the tailed beasts. Then a large amount of tailed beast chakra was created. Then transfer the cultivated chakra to the Geto statue. Then, let's make a fake 10 tails. Obito has no use for 10 tails like this. But it can be used by others. After finding Orochimaru and telling him these matters, Obito asked Orochimaru, I want to transform my body. Orochimaru was shocked, why? Obito said, I can only roughly use wood style now. That's because my right half of my entire body is made of White Zetsu's body. And White Zetsu's body is itself the product of the deterioration of Hashirama's cells. Therefore, I need to replace this degraded product with real high concentration Hashirama cells. Orochimaru laughed, haha, of course I can do that. And it's simple. All you need to do is inject a large amount of Hashirama cells into your body. Hashirama cells have powerful invasive and assimilation properties. Obito nodded. Do as you say, come on. Orochimaru chuckled, and then began to inject a large amount of Hashirama cells into Obito's body. At first, Obito didn't react. But, after a while, he could feel that the entire right side of his body was getting hot. Then, it started to expand. Hashirama cells are like a virus, devouring the original cells in Obito's body. The right side of Obito's swollen body began to crack. Branches and wooden forks appeared in the cracks. This is Hashirama's cell going berserk. Orochimaru asked Obito, and Obito said, it's okay. Then, Obito sat up with difficulty. He began to collect the natural energy of this world. The gentle natural energy entering Obito's body indeed stopped his body from expanding. Slowly, Obito's swollen body began to dry up, until it forms a layer of dead skin. Obito stood up, feeling his new body. He clenched his fists. Feeling a greater power than before, Obito tore off the dead skin on his face, revealing white and tender skin that looked like new skin. The scars on Obito's face were gone. Obito smiled slightly. This experiment was very successful. Return home. Lin was cooking when she sensed Obito's return, and she said, the meal will be ready soon. I learned to cook from Neji. Obito didn't say anything. He sat on the sofa and looked at Lin's back quietly. Then Obito's eyes slowly became hot. Click. The plate fell to the ground with a crisp sound. Lin looked at Obito, tears of excitement welling up in her eyes. Obito, your face. Obito smiled. Well, my face has recovered. Lin threw herself into Obito's arms. Obito hugged Lin tightly. His big hands restlessly reached in through the gap in clothes, feeling the flat and warm belly. Then, attack upwards. 3 days later. Swamp country. 4 figures slowly descended. They killed all the guards of the swamp country shrine. Then went in. The middle-aged man in the lead was called Huang Quan. He stepped into the place where the two worlds met. Released, the spirit of the monster. The next day. Konoha was alarmed. Minato comes to Rain Shinobi Village to discuss important matters with Obito. Obito looked at Minato and asked, what's wrong? Minato said, the spirit of the demon appeared. Wrath. Obito was stunned. He couldn't remember what it was for a moment, but it sounded very familiar. Minato nodded, yes, we have to stop the monsters. It is a monster from another world. Now that his soul has been released, we cannot allow his soul to merge with his body. Moroku, the priestess of the land of demons, has sealed away the demons. His soul was sealed in the shrine of the swamp country, and his body was sealed in the underground palace of the demon country. Just last night, the undead knights led by Wuliang destroyed the entire swamp country. As Minato said this, Obito rang out. Monster. A monster from another world, from the movie Naruto's death. Xian, the shrine maiden of the land of demons, has 2 major skills. One is her eyes. Her eyes can see the future. Second, she is good at sealing techniques. The sealing technique she is good at conceal monsters. Seeing Obito in a daze, Minato asked, Obito, are you listening to me? What I mean is that Konoha is responsible for stopping the undead knight, and you, Akatsuki, are responsible for stopping the body and soul of the demon. Obito shook his head and Minato's expression changed. Obito, what do you mean? Once the soul and body of the monster merge, it will be troublesome for the entire ninja world. Obito said, no, what I mean is that you Konoha should not interfere. Just leave everything to us, Akatsuki. Minato was a little surprised, is it possible? Obito smiled, after all, this is also a mission, right? Please believe in our business capabilities. Quote. After saying that, Obito disappeared from the spot. Wuliang, creatures from an other world. I believe Orochimaru will be very interested in monsters. Arriving at Orochimaru's residence, he licked his lips after hearing about the demon. Indeed, he was very curious about this special life form. This time, not all members of Akatsuki will be dispatched. Obito and Orochimaru are responsible for protecting the Miko Xian and dealing with the monsters. And stop the so-called undead knight. Obito believed in Kisame and Itachi's business abilities. Of the two of them, one is good at large-scale water style. One excels at large-scale fire style. Sufficient. The other side. The proud demon country priestess Xian opened her eyes. Beautiful patterns appeared in her lavender eyes. Then, as she expected, a handsome man with black hair was killed by the monster. Xian was a little frightened. Because the monsters are about to be resurrected. At this moment, 4 people carrying the power of monsters killed all of Ziwan's guards. With the chakra of the wrath of the demons, the bodies of the 4 of them underwent great changes. The limbs became monstrous, and the body was covered with stripes similar to curse marks. Chapter 48. Ghosts and Demons must read. When the 4 people were about to catch Xian, Obito suddenly appeared in front of Xian. Then Obito quickly formed a seal, fire style, storm dance. Kamui twisted space combined with fire style. In an instant, a huge flaming snake roared out. Then the 3 men were burned to ashes. The remaining person was stunned with fear and wanted to escape. However, Orochimaru stopped him. Thin white snakes entangled him. Then it began to swallow and absorb his chakra. After eating, Orochimaru said with some disdain, nothing more than that. This power is similar to a curse, but far inferior to it. Orochimaru scoffed at this. Then Orochimaru also killed the last person cleanly. It looked like Huang Quan's 4 men were killed very easily. Obito hesitated. Because Obito remembered that in the original work, Naruto and his team seemed to have wasted a lot of time dealing with these 4 people. Oh, Naruto is so weak. Then it's okay. Obito and Orochimaru are far more powerful than Naruto and little Sakura. Obito looked at Xian. Xian also looked at Obito without any hesitation. Perhaps because she had been looking at Obito's face for too long, Xian blushed a little. Xian said, "You will die." Obito laughed, "I'm going to die. In the entire ninja world, no one dares to say such a thing." Xian said, "It can't be wrong. My prediction will never be wrong." Obito was also very sure, "I won't die. There is no mistake in this point." Xian suddenly became a little sad, "If you don't die, then I will die. One of us must die." Obito said, "I will protect you. You won't die." Xian's face flushed, and she said, "Impossible. The future I see is never wrong." Obito slowly approached Xian, and Xian stepped back step by step until her back touched the wall. She felt Obito close to her and was a little flustered. "What are you doing?" Obito said, "Would you like to make a bet with me?" "Bet? What are you betting on?" Obito said, "Let's bet that none of us will die. I will protect you and I won't die. If I win, you will join my Cloud organization, and the Demon Kingdom will be incorporated into Rain Shinobi Village. From now on, the Demon Kingdom will be protected by me. You should have heard of my deeds." Xian said, "Okay. What if you lose?" Obito smiled, "I won't lose. Even if I lose, my life is at stake." Beautiful patterns appeared in Xian's lavender eyes. Then, that scene reappeared in Xian's eyes. In that scene, it was clear that Obito was pierced through the chest by the monster. Ziwan said confidently, "Okay, let's bet." However, Xian overlooked one point. After the tentacle pierced Obito's chest, no blood splashed out. Obito smiled and said, "Come on, take me to the underground palace of the land of demons. I'm going to kill that monster." Orochimaru also laughed, "Hehe, I'm also curious about what that monster is." "That monster. It sounds great, but in reality it is vulnerable." If Obito remembered correctly, the demon was defeated by Naruto's. This is Mai and Xian's special chakra Rasengan. So it is vulnerable. If Wuliang was really that powerful, the ninja world would have organized a ninja coalition to defeat it long ago. But he doesn't have the qualifications. Arrived at the gate of the underground palace. Kisame and Itachi were cleaning up the undead warriors one by one. Obito looked at the slow-moving things that looked like terracotta warriors. This is the undead warrior. There's no comparison with White Zetsu. I don't know where their power comes from. Obito said to Orochimaru, "Take a look at what these things get their power from." Orochimaru nodded. He is very interested in this. After arriving at the underground palace, Obito saw the winding underground palace. There is a seat in the center of the underground palace. Sitting on the chair was a somewhat skinny old man. The old man saw Obito and Xian. He was stunned at first. Then he looked at Obito, "Are you Uchiha Obito?" Obito frowned slightly, "You know me." The old man smiled and said, "Haha, your reputation as Uchiha Obito is well known in the ninja world." The old man changed the subject, "But you will die at the hands of the monsters. Master Wuliang is invincible." After saying that, the old man fell to the ground and kept twitching. His body can no longer accommodate the soul of the monster. The next moment, the ground collapsed. One after another, dark purple snake tentacles appeared. Countless snake-headed tentacles roared and rushed towards Obito and Xian. Ziwan's expression changed and she wanted to dodge. Obito grabbed Xian's hand. Why are you running? Xian yelled, are you a fool if you don't run? But the next moment, the tentacles pierced the chests of two people. A pale golden light shone on Xian's body. Xian closed her eyes. However, she did not feel any pain. Because the tentacles directly penetrated the chests of two people. Xian looked at Obito in surprise, and Obito waved his hand. I win the bet. Ziwan said in surprise, why can't they hit us? Because my ability is Kamui. It wasn't just Xian who was surprised. Even the monsters were extremely surprised. Why can't I hit you? Wuliang looked at Obito and the other man in disbelief. He continued to wave his tentacles in defiance of the challenge. However, the tentacles still penetrated the bodies of the two people without hurting them at all. Xian touched the tentacles with some curiosity, and her hand also penetrated the tentacles of the monster. Obito stretched out his right hand and said calmly, I don't want to play with you anymore. Wood style, the tree world is born. A large area of trees appeared behind Obito. The trees seemed to have life, constantly entangled with monsters. The tree world is endless, and the world is surrounded by monsters. The Wuliang tried his best to resist, but the power of wood style was so strong that the Wuliang couldn't resist it at all. Before, Obito couldn't use this level of wood style, but since he replaced the Hashirama cells in his divine body, Obito has been able to use large-scale wood style such as tree world descent. Looking at the entangled monsters, Obito quickly formed hand seals. Fire style, great fire extinguishing. The fire blazed brightly with the help of wood style. The monster struggled desperately. However, the flames still devoured the monsters mercilessly. This is the world of fire and trees. The firelight reflected Obito's face. In this situation, Xian was actually a little stunned. So handsome. Orochimaru rushed in from outside. Don't burn it, I still need to study it. Orochimaru rushed into the fire regardless of everything. Brought out a small piece of the monster's tentacle. For Orochimaru, this is the most valuable research material. After Wuliang died, all the undead warriors outside turned into broken soil. After leaving the underground palace, Obito looked at Xian, how about it, when will we fulfill the bet? Xian looked at Obito with light in her eyes, and she threw herself directly into Obito's arms. Do it now. You are so handsome. Oh. Obito pushed Xian away in a somewhat messy manner. Don't mess around, I'm a married man. Xian said indifferently, it doesn't matter, I don't care. Obito looked at Orochimaru, who showed a weird smile. Hee, don't worry, I won't tell Lin. Obito. Chapter 49 Devouring Monsters. Return to Rain Shinobi Village. Orochimaru is studying the life forms of monsters. Xian also joined open hollow corner bracket cloud close hollow corner bracket. The current cloud organization has a total of 6 people. There is still a long way to go. Fugaku, Kabuto, Kimimaro, Xian, Zabuza, Haku. Although their individual combat power is not as good as that of Akatsuki. But they all have good talents. Akatsuki is the top fighting force of Rain Shinobi Village. The Kuma organization is a combat organization above Anbu and below Akatsuki. Compared to the ostentatious Akatsuki, the Kuma organization is not well known in the ninja world because it was just established. And Akatsuki does not have a good reputation in the ninja world. Because most of the members of Akatsuki are powerful rebel ninjas from other villages. So Akatsuki doesn't have a good reputation. But Obito doesn't care, what's the use of reputation? I just like the way people can't stand me but can't get rid of me. Orochimaru's experimental base. He was studying a section of the monster's tentacle. There is a head similar to a dragon head on the purple-black tentacles. Its entire tentacles were filled with dark purple smoke. The tentacles have substance, and it can be deformed. However, the tentacles of the monster seem to lack vitality. Orochimaru smiled sinisterly, inject Hashirama cells into the monster. Yakushi Kabuto nodded. The omnipotent Hashirama cells were injected into the body of the monster, but the omnipotent life substance had no effect. Even more, the smoke from the monsters was constantly destroying the activity of Hashirama's cells. Orochimaru is shocked. He continued to analyze the monster's body, and then took out a purple bead from the monster's head. The bead seemed to be the monster's true body. After it was taken out, the monster's tentacles stopped twisting. It completely lost all activity. This bead feels soft to the touch, and Orochimaru can even put his fingers deep into the bead if he applies force. But the next moment, Orochimaru's finger became dry and charred. Orochimaru cut off the finger without a care in the world. He chuckled. The Wang Liang is a life form that Orochimaru has never seen before. The bead on its head is the source of its power. Moreover, monsters can secrete a toxin. This poison has a powerful destructive power on the ninja's body. Orochimaru suddenly had an idea. So, can the ninja seal the power of monsters into their bodies? The other side. Minato looked at Obito in confusion. What, the monsters were really solved so easily? Obito nodded and pointed to Xian, who was being lectured by Fugaku outside. Teacher, have you seen her? She is the priestess of the land of demons and the daughter of Maitreya. There is a strange power in his body. I can feel this power, although it is not strong. But, it definitely does not belong to the ninja world. If the power of monsters is the erosion of evil, then, the power of Xian is the purification of goodness. Rather, she can seal away ghosts and evil spirits. Rather, it purifies them. After hearing this, Minato's expression became a little serious. Are you serious? That power comes from another world. Obito nodded. You're my sensei, I don't have to lie to you. Does another world really exist? Obito smiled. Why does it exist? The Shinigami that you seal with the Shikigamo comes from another world. The souls of our ancestors are also in the Pure Land. My Kamui is also an independent space. Moreover, monsters and witches are one and the same. But they were separated. Witches are good, and demons are evil. Therefore, another world definitely exists. There was still some suspicion in Minato's eyes. Obito said, whether it is true or not, we will know it if the teacher accompanies me to take a look. The Shrine of Swamp Country. Minato nodded. Then he and Obito disappeared from the spot. Looking at the shrine in Swamp Country, it is now dilapidated. Obito and Minato looked at each other and then went into the shrine. Obito could also see some dead bodies. These were the guards of the Swamp Country who were killed by Yomi. Going deeper into the secondary shrine, Obito and Minato saw a huge magic circle with a hole in the center. This is where the spirits of the monsters come out. Obito grabbed Minato and they both stepped into the circle. Obito could feel a very unfriendly force washing over both men's bodies. But neither of them could touch their bodies. Obito threw out a large number of detonating tags and then pulled Minato into the cave entrance. Here, everything is nothingness and there is no end in sight. In the sky, there are spots of light, as dazzling as stars. But at this moment, an extremely huge tail swept over. But, the next moment, Obito and Minato disappeared from the spot. They used the Kamui seal to come to the Rain Shinobi village. Minato still had shock on his face. Obito is making hand seals. Burst. The detonating tag that was just scattered exploded violently, and then the Swamp Country shrine was blown into ruins. Obito looked at Minato and said meaningfully, Teacher, do you believe in another world now? The shrine in Swamp Country is the intersection of two worlds. Chapter 50, Involuntarily. Before Minato left, Obito said to Minato, I killed Chiyo of Sunagakur and obtained her forbidden technique, the Tensai. Minato asked, why are you telling me this? Obito smiled slightly, just saying. Minato flashed with gold and he left. Obito's purpose is simple. That's 9 tails. The other side. Minato returned home. He picked up Kushina and threw her on the bed. Just when he was thinking about his next move. Stopped by Kushina. Minato, no. Minato frowned, why? Kushina explained, because of 9 tails. 9 tails. Yes, 9 tails is becoming more and more violent. You know, when Jinchuriki gave birth to a child, the seal on her body was the weakest. However, the fact is that after giving birth to an offspring, the Jinchuriki seal could never return to its peak. It will also become looser as time goes by. Now, I need to concentrate on pressing 9 tails for more than 12 hours a day. So, sorry Minato, no. Minato walked out dejectedly. He was worried about Kushina. Because it is really as Kushina said. If she did nothing, the seal in her body would loosen over time, even if she didn't do anything wrong. The seal will eventually be released. I have to find a way myself. Reinforcing the seal is obviously not an option. Because Kushina is from the Uzumaki clan, what she is best at is sealing techniques. Any method that Minato could think of, Kushina certainly could have thought of as well. Therefore, the loosening of the seal is irreversible. Minato's brows furrowed slightly. And the other side. Kushina calmed down and came to his inner world. There is a huge cage in her inner world. Inside the cage, there is a giant fox. The fox had 9 tails. It lay on the water, looking at Kushina's arrival with disdain. Kushina got straight to the point. Nine Tails, could you please stop being so violent? Nine Tails said, why? I can do whatever I want. Kushina gritted her teeth and said, don't make me find you a new Jinchuriki. Nine Tails laughed, ha ha ha, you can try it. Don't think that I don't know that you will die if I leave your body. Can you bear to leave your son and husband? Also, when looking for Jinchuriki, it's best to be quick. Because, in half a year at most, the seal in your body will no longer be able to restrain me. Kushina looked very unhappy. Her consciousness returned to her body. Her eyes were blurred with tears. Because she doesn't want to die, she has an optimistic son, and she has a hard-working husband. Now that Konoha and Rain Shinobi have merged, the entire ninja world is getting better and better. So, she wanted to witness the final light. She wanted to grow old with Minato. She also wanted to see Naruto get married. She also wants to have another daughter. Kushina felt very sad because all this was just wishful thinking. As a Jinchuriki, you have no choice. If Nine Tails really breaks out of the body in half a year. Although Kushina doesn't want to die because her current life is too good, for Konoha in the future, she will still find the next generation of Jinchuriki to seal Nine Tails. To save the world from Nine Tails' cholera. Take it. Unoki floats in the air. He looked at the land beneath his feet with a gloomy look. He got some very bad news. That's the news from Sunagakur. Sunagakur high-ranking officials Ebizo and Chiyo died. 5th Kazekage Gaara announces the merger of Sand Shinobi and Rain Shinobi. Now, Sunagakur, Konoha Village, and Rain Shinobi Village, the three major villages are combined into one. It has already posed a threat to the balance of the ninja world. Onoki dared to conclude that Obito's next target would definitely be Iwagakure. Behind Onoki is black soil and yellow soil. Yellow earth is Onoki's son and black earth's father. Seeing Onoki so sad, Kuretsuchi said, old man, are you worried about Obito? If you ask me, you should give Tsuchikage to me right away. Let's join Rain Shinobi too. Onoki was so angry that he blew his beard and rolled his eyes. He knocked Haitu on the head and said, naive. Haitu was very dissatisfied, you are the pedantic one. Onoki sneered, what do you know, little girl? We added Rain Shinobi. Is Rock Shinobi still our Rock Shinobi? Rock Shinobi will then have the last name Uchiha. How can I be worthy of the legacy left by my ancestors? If Rock Shinobi is really handed over to someone else. Even if I die, I won't be able to see you, teacher. Haitu didn't say anything. Huangtu said, father, what should we do then? Unoki pondered for a moment, strong attack. Not advisable. Quote. He still remembered that a few years ago, Pain's super god tier Luo Tianzhong destroyed half of the Rock Shinobi with one move. That day, Iwagakure suffered numerous casualties and property damage. The traitor Deidara even worships Pain. Traitor. Moreover, I can't beat him. That scene cast a shadow on Onoki's life. Therefore, we can only ask for alliance. Unoki said, Kuretsuchi, bring the paper money. I wrote a personal letter to Reikage and Mizukage myself. Request, alliance. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 51 Once Upon a Time, A Dream. Onoki was well aware of the principle that if one's lips are gone, the other's teeth will be in danger. If by then, Obito's alliance really conquers Iwagakure again, then, by then, it will be too late. Unoki picked up his pen and started writing. This time, he wanted to write letters to 3 people. 4th Reikage. 5th Mizukage. There is also General Mifune from the neutral country of Iron Country. What is written is nothing more than some kind of interdependent relationship. If Obito really achieves his ambition, the next step will be you, Cloud Shinobi and Kurigakure. After writing it, Onoki handed it over to the 3 Anbu. I sincerely said to them, remember. Hand it to them personally. Yes. After Onoki finished speaking, he thought for a long time and asked Kuretsuchi, do you want to learn Dust Release? When Haidu heard this, his eyes lit up, I want to. Just as Onoki guessed, Obito's next target is Iwagakure. Rain Shinobi Village borders the 3 major ninja villages. They are Konoha, Rock Shinobi, and Sand Shinobi. And Konoha and the Sand Shinobi have already been dealt with. Therefore, Obito's next target is Iwagakure. If he could conquer Iwagakure, most of the ninja world would be conquered by Obito. Small countries like the Kusugakure village, which have no place to survive, will come to Obito to ask him to take them in. Obito's method of dealing with each village is different. To deal with Konoha, Obito adopted the method of boiling the frog in warm water and did not act too hastily. To deal with the weakest Tsunagaker, Obito used Kamui to directly attack the lair and directly bewitch the cage. However, this method cannot be used against Onoki. The big wild wood is stinkier and harder than the stones in the pit. Therefore, extraordinary measures must be taken. Obito didn't want to cause too much bloodshed because his goal was to integrate the ninja world, not to kill all of them. The nature is different. To deal with Iwagakure, you need to weaken Iwagakure's power first. Unlike Konoha. Konoha has 9 tails but they don't obey orders. But Iwagakure has 4 tails Jinchuriki Lao Z and 5 tails Jinchuriki Han. Therefore, it is necessary to capture the tailed beast first. After all, the tailed beasts were also part of Obito's plan. The Geto statue cannot use a complete tailed beast, it must also use an incomplete tailed beast chakra. This is certain. Obito disappeared in an instant and arrived at Akatsuki's headquarters. He said to Nagato, "Nagato, you and I, go arrest 5 tails, Kisame and Itachi, go arrest 4 tails. They are all the tailed beasts of Iwagakure. So, for now, we can act together. As for intelligence, that is not necessary at all. Obito knows every ninja that can be named in the ninja world." And after Nagato issued the order, Nagato went to make the arrangements. However, he made one small change, which was that Itachi and Kisame remained unchanged, and they still went to capture 4 tails. The task of capturing 5 tails was left to Obito and Pain 6 Paths. Although sending out Pain 6 Paths to deal with a 5 tails is a bit of a waste of talent. The other side. Nagato and Yahiko stood together after a long time. They looked through the window, watching the rain falling outside. The Yahiko now is not Pain, but Yahiko. Nagato said, "Yahiko, take Pain and help Obito capture 5 tails." Yahiko nodded, "Got it." However, Yahiko did not leave. Suddenly, Nagato said, "Yahiko, I remember you once said that you want to become the god of this ghost world and change it. Now, we have done it." Quote. Yahiko shook her head, "No, there is no real god in this world. But I am very glad that we met Obito. I have to say, as the leader of Akatsuki, he is more suitable to be a leader than either of us. He proposed the dream of building a perfect world. And found a group of like-minded members. Under his leadership. The Rain Shinobi village is well organized, and he used the cheapest method to win over Konoha and the Sand Shinobi. Before this, I would never have dared to think about it." Quote. Yahiko looked at Nagato. His face was full of black rods, so his face was very stiff, and it would be painful if he made any other movements. But Yahiko still managed a smile. "What about you?" Nagato was stunned. "You what?" Yahiko said, "We are 2 bodies but 1 mind. So you know what I want to ask." Nagato's face turned red for the first time in a long time. He said, "My dream has also come true. Rain Shinobi village peace and stability. You and Konan are still alive. That's my ideal." Yahiko said, "You like Konan?" Nagato blushed immediately. Yahiko said, "Aren't you going to confess your feelings to her? Seeing Obito and Lin together, seeing Itachi and Izumi together, aren't you envious?" Quote. Nagato said, "But Konan likes you." This was Nagato's idea. But Yahiko thought differently. Yahiko thinks, it's you that Konan likes now. The 2 people are in tune with each other, so they both know what the other person is really thinking. Then they fell silent. After a long while, it was Yahiko who spoke first. "I'm already like this. I am no longer qualified to look for love. But you are different from Konan. You and Konan have been childhood sweethearts. You 2 are the perfect match." Nagato didn't say anything, so Yahiko said, "Think about it. I say this because I don't want to see you miss each other." Then Yahiko left. After leaving Nagato, Yahiko's eyes instantly turned cold and arrogant. Now Yahiko has turned back into the role of Tendo Pain. Chapter 52 Naruto is confused. On the other side, Konoha. Sasuke was hesitating in front of the Hokage's office. Naruto pushed Sasuke, "What are you standing there for? Come in." Sasuke was stunned. "Why should I go in and you don't?" Naruto said, "That's my dad, I'm scared. Am I not afraid anymore?" Naruto gritted his teeth, "Stop talking so much, let's go. Let's go in together. Original. Naruto and Sasuke are enemies, but they are Naruto's wishful enemies. After so many years of love and hate, Naruto and Sasuke have become good friends. Even though they don't admit it outwardly, you have to admit that this is the fact. Minato's door was opened and Minato was startled when he saw it was Naruto and Sasuke. He asked, "What do you want?" This lukewarm attitude made Naruto feel aggrieved. He instinctively wanted to shout, "Can't I come to see you if everything is fine? But, for my own and Sasuke's big plan, I can only compromise temporarily." Sasuke said, "Hokage, I want Rain Shinobi back." Minato was stunned. "Why go back to Rain Shinobi? Are you not used to staying in Konoha?" Sasuke shook his head, "Not really, I think my brother and my parents are gone. I am now a Jonin, and I can stand on my own. Moreover, my goal is to join Akatsuki. Fighting alongside my brother." These words made Naruto's blood boil, but he instinctively felt that something was missing. "But I couldn't remember it for the moment. The merger of Konoha and Rain Shinobi is not just empty talk. The belief of a village is its mark. The original Konoha mark, Rain Shinobi mark, and Sand Shinobi mark are all things of the past after the merger of the villages. Now there is only one village, and that is the Ninja Village. Even the logo of the ninja forehead protector is the Ren symbol. The old ninjas may be remembering the old ties to the village. The village symbol is their breath, so they are unwilling to change the symbol. It is understandable, however, the new ninja. It is absolutely impossible to have such thoughts. For example, Sasuke and Naruto. The idea that they were instilled with is that the ninja world is the ninja village. And Konoha, Rain Shinobi, Sand Shinobi, these are the regional names of the ninja village. This went on for less than 20 years. The old ninjas became powerless one after another. The new ninja gradually gained strength. In this case, within 20 years, Obito's dream was truly achieved. Just as there are rebellious ninjas in the village, there must be parasites in this ninja village. At this time, the advantages of Xiao and Yun will come into play. One is the obvious powerful figure, the Akatsuki organization, wearing a red cloud robe to rule the world. One is responsible in secret, the Shira ghost mask of the cloud organization captivates people's hearts. So, when the time comes, join Xiao and Yun. It's their honor. Although Akatsuki's origin and reputation are not good, this is not good in the eyes of these old ninjas, but in the eyes of the new ninjas. Akatsuki is so cool. Old ninjas will eventually grow old, and new ninjas will eventually grow up. Bad memories fade away. Even ethos changes over time. Completely changing the ninja world is also Obito's plan. Minato listened to Sasuke and said, "Okay, you go back." "Then why did Naruto come to see me?" Just as Naruto was about to speak, Sasuke said, "Naruto is here to see me off." Naruto was confused. "Good job. Talk for a long time. You sneaked out to play by yourself. Lousy is still staying in Konoha." Chapter 53 Naruto and Sasuke leave the village. Naruto and Sasuke agreed to go to Rain Shinobi village together. The two of them are at a restless age. Naruto's confession failed again. Of course, they want to go out and serve the country. After Rain Shinobi merged with Konoha, there was no war or dispute in Konoha, because all the sources of trouble were strangled in the cradle by the Akatsuki organization. So, Konoha is too comfortable. This made the villagers of Konoha feel unprecedented peace of mind. The people who were most vocal in opposing the merger before are now openly promoting Obito's policies that benefit the people. The Akatsuki organization is at the top, and the Kuma organization is charging in the front. The villagers of the ninja village do not need to worry about war and invasion. Naturally, some people like this kind of life. But some people don't like it. For example, these restless teenagers are eager to prove their strength. But Konoha was stable and there was no war. So their target was set on Rain Shinobi village. Just like Naruto and Sasuke. But, Sasuke, this B**************** D screwed Naruto. The look Naruto gave Sasuke gradually changed from confusion to astonishment, and then from astonishment to anger. Minato thought Naruto was going to fight with Sasuke again, so he asked first, "Naruto, do you have anything else to say?" "I have to say, Minato is indeed not a competent father. He barely cared about his son. She didn't even know her son had become friends with Sasuke." Naruto subconsciously wanted to say that he wanted to follow Sasuke to the Rain Shinobi village. But, he flinched at Minato's slightly serious look. Naruto said a little aggrievedly, "No, it's okay." Minato said, "I'm glad you're okay." Sasuke smiled and left. Naruto looked at the Hokage's portrait on the wall with a fiery gaze. Naruto sniffed, "Father, I want to be Hokage." Minato was stunned at first, then smiled, "Why become Hokage?" "I want to protect this village." But this village doesn't need protection right now. It's safe and sound under the protection of Obito and the Akatsuki organization. I just want to be the Hokage anyway. Ha ha ha, I support you. Naruto smiled seriously, his goal was about to be achieved. Naruto said, so I'm going to the Rain Shinobi village. Minato said, why? Naruto said to himself, the inheritance of the Hokage has never been about blood relationship but strength and achievements. How can I achieve merit in the peaceful Konoha? Successive Hokage. First Hokage Senju Hashirama, pacified Sengoku and established Konoha. Second Hokage Senju Tobirama, established the Ninja Academy to improve Konoha's rule of law and founded Anbu, and carried forward Konoha. The third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen took the lead in the Second Ninja World War and proved his will of fire. Fourth Hokage, you, during the Third Ninja World War, made great achievements and won the title of Yellow Flash, so you became Hokage. Every Hokage in history has made great achievements. And how can I achieve military exploits in Konoha? I want to go to Rain Shinobi. It would be best if you could join Akatsuki to gain experience for a few years, then help Obito, help Akatsuki completely conquer the ninja world, make military achievements, and be trusted and admired by the people in the village. And then become Hokage. There was a light in Naruto's eyes. Minato looked at Naruto in surprise, he didn't expect his silly son to say such a thing. Honestly, Minato was surprised. I was surprised and relieved at the same time. Naruto. Grown up. Minato said, okay, you and Sasuke go to Rain Shinobi together. Remember, don't cause trouble. Also, you and Sasuke need to support each other. Naruto nodded. Good, etc. Before Naruto left, Minato called out to Naruto. Naruto looked at Minato, what's wrong, father? Minato tossed Naruto 2 scrolls, one purple and one blue. This is the A-level wind style ninjutsu Rasengan. Your chakra attribute is also wind attribute. Take it and study it well. This is the S-level lightning style ninjutsu Reikiri, give it to Sasuke, this ninjutsu was created by my former disciple. Minato's eyes lit up with nostalgia when he thought of Kakashi. If it wasn't for something that happened back then. Idiot executives made the worst decision ever. The 3 of them will not leave Konoha. Naruto nodded happily, okay. Ha ha ha, go ahead and don't embarrass Konoha. And, protect yourself. On a tree outside. Sasuke stood on the book with a blank expression. Under the tree was little Sakura with a crazy look on her face. Sasuke-kun, don't stand on the tree, it's dangerous. Sasuke gave her a sidelong glance, then ignored her. So cool. Sasuke is so handsome. Little Sakura was annoyed by the infatuated look. She and Naruto Sasuke were members of the same team, and their teacher was Yamato, so she naturally knew that Naruto and Sasuke were going to the Rain Shinobi village together to establish military exploits. She originally wanted to go with them, but her strength was far inferior to that of Naruto and Sasuke. Now, little Sakura's dream is to catch up with Sasuke. Then after becoming strong, go to Rain Shinobi village too. Sasuke stood on the tree with aloofness. He was waiting for Naruto. Although he tricked Naruto, who knows what decision the 4th generation will make. So, Sasuke planned to wait for Naruto. After a while, Naruto came out as expected. Seeing the smile on Naruto's face, Sasuke knew the answer. Sasuke's lips curled up slightly, but he still said disdainfully, you're going to Rain Shinobi too. Naruto raised his head and said proudly, yeah. Without waiting for Sasuke to speak. Little Sakura yelled, Naruto, you have to protect Sasuke. Don't hold Sasuke back. Hearing this, Naruto's proud expression turned into disappointment. Before Sasuke came to the Ninja Academy, Naruto and little Sakura had a good relationship. Moreover, they were later assigned to the same class. Later, Naruto confessed his love to little Sakura. But the confession failed, because little Sakura prefers the cool Sasuke. I don't like Naruto who is so caring and acts like a dog. Even though Naruto was frustrated, there was nothing he could do. No one can say anything about matters of the heart. Chapter 54 Brothers Meeting. Naruto and Sasuke loaded up their bags and left Konoha, heading towards the Rain Shinobi village. Rain Shinobi village is south of Konoha village. Sasuke and Naruto continued south until they felt a light drizzle, proving they had reached the Rain Shinobi village. On the way, Naruto handed Sasuke Reikiri's learning scroll. It has to be said that although Naruto has a huge amount of chakra, Sasuke is more talented in learning ninjutsu. Sasuke's talent in ninjutsu is a little weaker than his brother Itachi's. This further highlights Itachi's talent. The border of Rain Shinobi and Konoha. The original border defense line was dismantled. What followed was a market. A very prosperous market. At the junction of the two villages, the villagers of the two villages get along very harmoniously. No, now I am a villager in a village. After running all the way, Naruto and Sasuke were hungry. They went into a store bold and grandiose. Ichiraku Ramen Rain Shinobi branch. Naruto's eyes lit up when he saw it. No matter what time it was, he was a fan of Ichiraku Ramen. The manager of Rain Shinobi Village Ichiraku Ramen is a burly man with a face full of flesh. Looks like someone who is not easy to mess with. He is the apprentice of the store manager Ichiraku, and after the two villages merged, he went there specifically to learn the craft. Naruto said, "Uncle, 2 bowls of seafood tonkatsu noodles." Sasuke frowned, "I don't like it." Naruto said, "I didn't order anything for you. I'll eat 2 bowls." Sasuke almost broke down, "Boss, I want a bowl of fish ball noodles." "Okay, wait a minute." Although the boss looks fierce, he is actually very gentle. After a while, the boss brought 3 bowls of steaming noodles to Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto took a deep breath, "It smells so good." After they finished eating, the boss said to Naruto and Sasuke, "The total is 400 ryo, how do you pay?" Naruto and Sasuke froze. Sasuke said first, "I don't have any money, you pay." Naruto blushed and whispered, "My dad didn't give me any money." "If I didn't give it to you, wouldn't you be able to bring it yourself?" "How should I know? You didn't ask for money. So why didn't you bring any?" Sasuke gritted his teeth and looked at Naruto, "I'm an exchange student, all expenses will be reimbursed by Konoha, I have no money." Naruto just smiled. The boss then said, "You two don't have any money, do you? Look at your forehead protector, you are also ninjas from the new ninja village. As a ninja, you don't pay for your meals." Naruto blushed and said, "It's not that I don't want to pay, I just forgot to bring it." The boss said, "I won't make it difficult for you. Leave the forehead protector and use the money to redeem it." Sasuke was about to argue when he saw a figure that haunted him. The figure was wearing a red cloud robe, holding an umbrella for a girl, and wandering aimlessly in the market. Seeing that back, Sasuke's nose felt sore and his eyes turned red. He shouted loudly, "Oni-chan." The Itachi, who was walking outside, suddenly froze. Feeling Itachi's body stiffen, Izumi asked, "What's wrong, Itachi?" Obito's plan is Iwagakure. But Obito thought that with the old man Onoki's character, he would never surrender. So, Obito wanted to waste some time with Onoki. See what Onoki will do. Therefore, Obito is not in a hurry to conquer Iwagakure. Time is plenty for him. So Itachi had a break for now, he didn't need to look for the Four Tails Jinchuriki for the time being. And Four Tails Jinchuriki and Onoki are at odds. He is no longer in Rock Shinobi, but has become a wandering monk traveling around the ninja world. So it's not that easy to find. That's why Quan and Itachi came to this market for a date today. Hear that voice. Itachi looked back instinctively. I saw a familiar figure, Sasuke. Even though the two brothers hadn't seen each other in years, Itachi still recognized Sasuke. Itachi handed the umbrella to Izumi and said to him, "This is my brother, Sasuke. Wait for me here for a moment." Izumi looked at Sasuke and felt a sense of familiarity, mainly because he and Itachi were both very handsome. Itachi came to the store in the rain. When the boss saw this, he said with fear and respect, "Lord Suzaku." Itachi waved his hand and asked Sasuke, "Why didn't you tell me before you came?" Izumi came to this ramen restaurant holding an umbrella. Then ask your boss what's going on. The boss told the truth. Then he took out the money and handed it to the boss. The boss was terrified, saying that Lord Suzaku had worked hard for the country and could not be paid. Quan smiled slightly and handed the money to the boss. Let's keep things separate. Then Izumi stood gracefully behind Itachi. Naruto also looked at Itachi curiously. Is this Sasuke's brother? Is he the Suzaku of Akatsuki? So handsome. Seeing Izumi holding his brother's arm, Sasuke felt a little sour and asked, "Is this your brother's girlfriend?" Itachi was stunned, then nodded. Her name is Uchiha Izumi. Seeing Itachi nod, Sasuke felt even more sad, because it should have been me who was holding my brother's arm. Although Sasuke was uncomfortable, he had to follow etiquette in front of his brother. I'm Sasuke. Quan smiled slightly, I remember you. When we were little, I held you in my arms. After a brief reminiscence, Itachi took a few people back home. On the way, they learned that Naruto was the son of 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato, and Itachi also had some differences. Because this guy who doesn't look very smart is actually Minato's son. Come to think of it, Itachi also knew Minato. During the Third World War, the fame of Yellow Flash and Shisui spread almost throughout the ninja world. The other side. Obito stood by the window with his hands behind his back. He looked at the continuous drizzle and said to Shisui behind him. Shisui, that old man Onoki is not a fool, he must know that my next target is Iwagakure. But why is there no movement yet? Quote, maybe there was movement, but we don't know, Shisui said. I want to go and see it. Obito said, be safe and don't reveal your identity. I trust you. The next moment, Shisui disappeared from the spot. On the other side, Konoha. Minato also knew that Obito's next target would be Iwagakure. Since Cloud Shinobi Village is located in the northeast direction and does not directly border Rain Shinobi Village, it is definitely Iwagakure. And Minato wanted to help. Call Red. And Anbu brought up a special Jonin, Yuhi Kurenai, moments later. Fourth generation. Kurenai looked at Minato with respect. Minato said bluntly, Red, I want you to lurk in Rock Shinobi until the Tsuchikage's next move. Hong was stunned for a moment then nodded. Minato said, I believe you. Shihi Hong said, we must complete the mission. Minato nodded, okay, safety comes first. The task is secondary. Try not to reveal your identity. If you are discovered, reveal Konoha's identity. With the pressure from Rain Shinobi and Akatsuki, Onoki dare not touch you. Hong nodded. There was something complicated in her eyes. Once upon a time, Konoha, the strongest ninja in the ninja world, actually needed to rely on the reputation of Akatsuki. What makes her situation even more complicated is that Obito, who used to be the last in the class, has now become the mastermind behind Akatsuki. Obito, who once couldn't even learn the three-body technique, is now on the verge of becoming the leader of the ninja world. Chapter 55 Shisui and Hong. Take it. Onoki received a reply, including replies from the two cages of Kurigakure and Cloud Shinobi Village. They are also very vigilant, wary of Obito's ambitions. There are 5 superpowers in the entire ninja world. Obito has already invaded 2, Konoha and Sand Shinobi. So, they also knew Obito's ambition. He wanted to defeat them one by one. Reikage and Mizukage also know the principle of the lips and teeth being cold, so they can't just sit there and wait for death. So, they have to negotiate with Obito. The 6-cage talks are held in the neutral country of Iron Country. It was originally the 5-cage summit, but the appearance of Obito has made it impossible for them to ignore the Rain Shinobi Village. Obito barely became a cage. Although Obito is not called Shadow in Rain Shinobi Village, everyone with a discerning eye knows that as the leader of Akatsuki, Obito is the Rain Shadow of Rain Shinobi Village. Outside the Iwagakure Tsuchikage building. A figure in a black tights was eavesdropping, and from her curvy figure it could be seen that she was a woman. It is the sunset. Hong listened to Tsuchikage's words, she was a little surprised. I didn't expect that the 6-cage talks would be held. This is not intelligence, because there is no need to inquire about this matter, Tsuchikage will also inform Minato. Because Minato is the Hokage. Just at this moment, a patrolling rock shinobi Anbu suddenly saw the sneaky Hong. He yelled, who? Hong was startled and then jumped out of the window and ran away. Tsuchikage was also alarmed. He came out and looked at rock shinobi Anbu, what happened? Anbu said respectfully, report to Tsuchikage, there's a sneaky figure wandering around. Tsuchikage frowned, chase. At least we need to know which village he is from. Yes. Dozens of Anbu were dispatched, chasing after Hong. Hong felt the dozens of chakras behind him, then frowned. I was careless and got discovered. Iwagakure was rocky and Hong was not familiar with this unfamiliar terrain, but the Anbu ninjas were very familiar with this terrain. The distance between Kurenai and the Anbu ninjas slowly closed. Then, at this moment, a black figure flashed, and the kunai in his hand flipped, ruthlessly reaping the life of the rock shinobi Anbu behind him. The flash of red eyes seemed to be a shinigami reaping lives. The lives of dozens of Iwagakure ninjas were ruthlessly harvested by that black figure. Then, the figure looked at Hong, and he said, be careful when you are on a mission. I don't understand why the Hokage would send out a careless woman like you. He naturally didn't know that there was no one left in Konoha. Hong was very angry when she heard this, who are you? Why do you say that to me? Quote. Red Stripe reacted. Wrong. How do you know I'm from Konoha? The figure chuckled, before you say that, block your Konoha forehead protector. At this time, Hong saw his face clearly. It was also Konoha's forehead protector, but it was cut in the middle. This proves his identity, a traitor ninja. Look at his face. A handsome face, messy curly hair, slightly upturned eyes, and iconic red eyes. There are 3 magatama in the red eyes. Get ready. Of course Hong knew this, Shisui, who was famous throughout the ninja world. Shisui chuckled and said softly, remember. Don't be so careless when carrying out this kind of mission next time. Hong gritted her teeth and said, what the hell is it to you? Shisui didn't say anything, he also came to inquire about the mission. But Shisui's method is much more advanced than Hong's. No one noticed him, because everyone who discovered him was dead. Shisui did not use his signature and proficient fire style, nor did he use illusion, but instead used the flickering technique in kunai taijutsu. This way you can hide your identity. After Shisui left, Hong limped towards Konoha. When Hong was running away just now, the rocky road caused her to sprain her ankle. She didn't pay attention to it when she was running away, but now she found that her left ankle was swollen like a bun. Just as Hong gritted his teeth and limped away, a figure appeared in front of Hong. Hong looked at Shisui and said, what are you doing? Are you here to laugh at me? Shisui was slightly stunned, then said gently, I saved you. Although, with the current state of the ninja world, the Tsuchikage won't kill you. However, his identity was discovered. Tsuchikage will have the opportunity to make conditions with the Hokage. So, you don't thank me and still treat me like this. Shisui looked at Hong with a half smile. Hong gritted her teeth and was unable to refute, because everything Shisui said was right. After a while, Shisui smiled and said, well, I was once a member of Konoha. I'll carry you back. You don't want to be caught up by Tsuchikage's pursuers, do you? Shisui carried Red on his back. The contact between their bodies made Hong blush a little. You know, Hong has only had one boyfriend, and Asuma became impotent before they even had S**X. The impotence was not discovered by Hong, but Asuma found out and told Hong himself out of conscience. So later they broke up. Hong looked at Shisui's profile. It actually feels pretty good. As this thought came to her mind, her face turned even redder. God doesn't make things perfect. As soon as Shisui and Hong stepped into Konoha's territory, it began to rain lightly. Then it started to rain heavily. Shisui frowned and found a cave with Hong to shelter from the rain. Hong turned away from Shisui. Shisui didn't care, he just kept talking, this rain may not stop in a short time. Your feet are injured, don't get wet in the rain. After saying that, without waiting for Hong's response, Shisui left the cave and rushed into the rain. Seeing this, Hong instinctively tried to stop him, but Shisui had already left. After a long time, Shisui didn't come back. Hong began to have wild thoughts. As expected, you abandoned me after all, Shihikuranai, you are such a burden. Really, you actually have a crush on the Uchiha guy. The classic quote from second generation is right. Evil Uchiha. Quote. Is Shisui really not coming back? It's so cold. Maybe, he's gone. He is the genius of Uchiha. Just at this time, Shisui came back with a water bag and 2 fish in his hand. Seeing Shisui, a light appeared in Hong's eyes. It seems that Uchiha is not evil after all, what second generation said was wrong. However, Hong still turned her head away proudly and didn't look at Shisui. Shisui said to himself, it looks like the rain won't stop tonight, so I went to get some fresh water and caught 2 fish. Let's just make do with this night. Shisui came to Hong's side. He used fire style, igniting the combustibles in the cave. After a while, the aroma of grilled fish wafted out. Shisui handed Hong a piece and said, it may not taste good, but it's definitely cooked. Just eat it. Hong said, as a ninja, no matter how tough the environment is, you have to adapt. Looking at Hong's expression, Shisui laughed twice. Are you Konoha's elite Jonin? Hong nodded proudly. Shisui hit back without mercy, ha ha ha, you're not even close to that. Indeed, the current level of Jonin is far from that of the previous Konoha. This also proves that Konoha is in decline. If there is no reform, Konoha will eventually perish. Chapter 56 Six Shadows Talks. At night, Shisui fell asleep. Hong looked at the sleeping Shisui. Her face was red in the firelight. Then Hong slowly moved towards Shisui and slowly lay down beside him. She even said to comfort herself, it's so cold. The next day, Hong woke up. Shisui had disappeared from the spot. The physical fitness of a ninja is far superior to that of an ordinary person. After one night of rest, her ankle was almost recovered. Look at this cave. The corners of Hong's mouth couldn't help but rise slightly. In the other side, Rain Shinobi Village. Obito looked at Shisui with interest. 6 Cage talks. That's interesting, Shisui said. They truly recognized Rain Shinobi Village. Now Rain Shinobi Village is a superpower. Obito smiled. It's the Shinobi Village. When he returned home in the evening, Obito hugged Lin and told her about the 6 Cage meeting. Lin was very happy. Because they truly recognized Rain Shinobi Village, which also means that they recognized Obito. However, Obito said, I can't be a Rain Shadow. Lin asked, why? Obito said, Rain Shadow's position. It seems like a great opportunity, but this position also restricts me. Obito narrowed his eyes. Indeed, the biggest purpose of integrating the ninja world was to create a peaceful world and then gather strength to deal with the Otsutsuki clan. But doesn't Obito also want to sit on the supreme throne? The Akatsuki organization previously tried to seize the tailed beasts, causing public outrage. The current Akatsuki organization is proceeding step by step and is not frantically plundering the tailed beasts. Although the tailed beasts are also one of Obito's goals, Obito only has 2 tailed beasts so far, one 1-tail Shukaku and one 3-tails Isobuki. Both tailed beasts were obtained through legitimate means. Therefore, the current Rain Shinobi Village will not become the target of public criticism due to the looting of the tailed beasts. The purpose of holding the 6 Cage summit was simply because Obito had destroyed the so-called balance, the edifice was about to collapse, and everyone was in danger. After all, they are just a bunch of pedantic and short-sighted guys. The next day, Obito found Nagato. The first thing he said was shocking. Nagato, I want you to be the Rain Shadow. Nagato was shocked. Why me? Obito said, you're perfect. What about you? Obito smiled slightly. I don't want to be the Rain Shadow. That is to say, Obito's target is not limited to Rain Shadow. Nagato nodded. I understand. Afterwards, Kakuzu spent a huge amount of money to arrange a set of Rain Shadow costumes for Nagato. A black coat with red clouds underneath. It was similar to the clothes of the Akatsuki organization, yet different. There was red writing on the back of the coat. First generation Rain Shadow. Then there's Rain Shinobi's hat. Come to think of it, Nagato's Rain Shadow hat doesn't have the Rain Shinobi logo, but the Ren logo. Nagato then performed the ceremony at the Rain Shinobi Village. He officially became Rain Shadow. This made Nagato very excited, because the boy who watched his parents die tragically in front of him has now truly grown up. He can now stand on equal footing with the top figures in the ninja world. Nagato became the Rain Shadow, and everyone accepted it. Just because of his eyes is enough. A man who possesses the Rinnegan from the legendary Sage of 6 Paths is more than qualified to be a shadow. The day after Nagato became the Rain Shadow, Onoki sent someone to the Rain Shinobi Village to inform Obito. Ask him to go to the Iron Kingdom in 5 days to attend the 6 Cage summit. Obito agreed. Anyway, the shadow is not me. 5 days later, Nagato arrived in the land of iron. He pulled up Yuying's hat to completely cover his face. Nagato was the last to arrive at the venue. As soon as they arrived, the 4th Raikage said in dissatisfaction, Rain Shadow, you are so generous that you made us all wait for you alone. Nagato said nothing. Minato tried to smooth things over. Anyway, the meeting hasn't started yet, it's okay to wait a while. Humph. Raikage glanced at Minato. Since the Hokage has said so, I will give the Hokage this face. Minato looked at Nagato. He couldn't see the face under the hat, but he could sense that this person was definitely not Obito. The general of the Iron Kingdom looked at the 6 people without saying a word. As a neutral country, he also does not want to see any country become extremely powerful. Because this will affect the balance. Unoki's eyes narrowed. He looked at the Ren mark on Nagato's hat and couldn't help but smile. It seems that Yuying is very determined. Each shadow can bring 2 guards to the meeting. The loess and black soil of the Onoki belt. The 2 guards Minato brought were Yamanaka Hai and Nara Shikaku. The 2 guards the Raikage brought were Darui and Nozomi. The 2 guards Terumi Mei brought with her were Chojuro and Ao. The 2 guards Gaara brought with him were Tamari and Konkuro. The 2 guards Nagato brought were Konan and Tendo Pain. The guards that Gaara brought were the weakest, because there was really no one in Sunagaku. Nagato brought Pain and Konan. As expected, Onoki spoke slowly. What? Yuying is worried that we might do something bad to you. Why did you bring 2 members of a killer organization to attend the 5 Cage summit? Oh, now it's the 6 Shadows talks. Wow, the start is a show of force. It's full of sarcasm. Haha, Nagato sneered, I repeat, we are not a killer organization, our organization is called Akatsuki. If Tsuchikage is too old to remember clearly, I will have Pain visit again some other day. Tsuchikage's face turned green. This is a naked threat. Everyone knows that the last time Pain visited, it was a super god tier Luo Tianzhong who destroyed half of Iwagakure. Who knows what happened during this visit? Tsuchikage was unable to utter a word. After a long while, Tsuchikage finally gave in and said, I know. Akatsuki organization. There is no way, this is the suppression of strength, Pain's Rinnegan, Pain's Shinra Tensai, the reputation and strength of Akatsuki organization are far beyond what Iwagakure can contend with. If you fall behind, you will be beaten. This is what happens when you are not as strong as others. Nagato sat down. Then Pain and Konan stood behind Nagato, one on the left and one on the right. The Iron Nation's general spoke up, since Rain Shadow is here. Then, the 6 shadow talks officially begin. Quote, Nagato took off his hat. His face was revealed. When Unoki saw this, he was stunned. You're not Uchiha Obito. Who are you? Why do you have a Rinnegan too? Nagato calmly said to Haki, my name is, Uzumaki Nagato. Chapter 57 Uzumaki Nagato. My name is, Uzumaki Nagato. Uzumaki Nagato's cold Rinnegan swept across everyone, and everyone who was swept had goosebumps all over their bodies and faces. In their hearts, they instinctively feared the pair of Rinnegan. After all, that is the eye of the Sage of Six Paths. Uzumaki Nagato. He was unknown before, but as soon as he appeared on the stage, he shocked the whole audience. Uzumaki. Looking at his red hair, he does fit the characteristics of the Uzumaki clan. But why was it unknown before? Quote, Unoki looked at Nagato and couldn't help but think. The Reikage couldn't help but speak, HMPH, find an unknown junior to be the Rain Shadow. What exactly does Uchiha Obito mean? Is he scared? Nagato glanced at the Reikage and spoke calmly with a hint of haki in his voice, why do you say that? Can't an unknown person be a shadowy figure? I am recognized and loved by my fellow villagers. I have the power to protect this village. I am Rain Shadow. At this time, Onoki came out to smooth things over, okay, let's have this meeting. I didn't come here to see you quarrel. Rather, let me ask, what exactly does Rain Shinobi want to do? Reikage, Mizukage, Tsuchikage, the generals of the Iron Kingdom, all stared at Nagato. They wanted to get a satisfactory answer from Nagato. Nagato sneered, what? What aspect are you asking about? Onoki shouted, it's you Rain Shinobi and Konoha, and Sand Shinobi, why do you want to merge? Are you trying to disrupt the balance of the ninja world? Are we going to break the pattern that has existed in the ninja world for so many years? Balance. Nagato sneered, what balance? If there really is a balance, then where does war come from? If there really is a balance, then why would our small country be bullied by you big countries? Let me tell you, as long as the ninja system exists. As long as there is desire in the ninja's heart. Then, there will never be true balance. In the clash between you big nations, aren't we small nations the ones that get hurt in the end? How many people have been displaced and separated from their families by war? My parents died at the hands of the Konoha shinobi. Why? Because they are refugees. Just because they are from a small country. Do I deserve to be killed by your big country? Ultimately, it's the world's problem. This world is about to break down. You so-called great powers only care about your own interests and don't care about the lives of others at all. This is how the ninja world slowly deteriorates. And, we, Shao, are here to break this scene. We, Shao, will be the knife that pierces new world. ... Nagato became more and more excited as he spoke. After he finished speaking, looking at everyone calmly, Nagato said calmly. Do you see my eyes? You should be able to recognize it. This is the eye of the legendary Sage of Six Paths. I have such eyes. I am God, and I am here to change this ninja world. Hehe, Mizukage looked at Nagato and smiled, why are there two pairs of eyes like this? Nagato did not respond to Mizukage. Terumi Mei is the fifth Mizukage, she was able to emerge from the Blood Mist village and become Mizukage. This is enough to prove Mizukage's strength and prove that she is not just a beautiful vase. She has both strength and means. Nagato looked at Mizukage and chose not to answer her question. Pain took a step forward. Arouse everyone's vigilance. Nagato chuckled when he saw this scene, and his disdain caused dissatisfaction among everyone. But this just proves one thing. That is, they were afraid of Pain. Perhaps, the current ninja world is really similar to what Nagato said. It's already too weak. All villages only care about their own interests. The villages nowadays are in decline. Their corrupt politics have left the village in ruins. To the extent that Akatsuki, composed of rebellious ninjas, has become the most powerful force in the world. Look at the 6 hats on the table. Nagato said, see these 6 hats. No matter how close they are, there is a gap between them. Just like our countries, no matter how close we are, there are always gaps between us. The only way to break this gap is to break it and reorganize it. Nagato clenched his fists. He looked at everyone without any emotion. Haha, that's nonsense. Onoki laughed and said, this is nonsense. The major ninja villages founded by our ancestors. It is the most perfect appearance. In this ninja world, the strong prey on the weak, and every village becomes stronger due to the constraints of balance. This kind of ninja world is the best ninja world. What unity are you talking about? I don't believe it at all. Who knows if this is Uchiha Obito's conspiracy, and whether he wants to become the master of the ninja world. That guy has such ambitions. Hee. Suddenly, a chuckle filled the air, and Obito slowly poked his head out of the Kamui space. Tsuchikage said it well, the strong prey on the weak. If you say so, the current ninja village is stronger than your Iwagakure. So according to what you said, can we declare war on your ninja village? Saw Obito coming out. Everyone was shocked. As Onoki listened to Obito's words, his face changed from gloomy to happy. When Obito saw this, he chuckled, Tsuchikage, don't be so nervous. I will not start a war. After all, my goal is to integrate the ninja villages, make the ninja world stronger, and unite the entire ninja world. Only in this way can war be truly eradicated. It sounds better when spoken than when sung. Mizukage couldn't help but say. Mifune said calmly, this is the 6-cage talks, who are you? Who asked you to come? Obito said, I am nobody, but in the Norda ninja world, I can come and go as I please. I can come and go freely in the world. P.S. Only one update today, sorry. Because I want to go home. If I don't go home, I will have to spend the new year at school. So I'm not in a good state today, please forgive me. I'll add more when I get home. Also, the next step is to collect the tailed beasts. As long as you start collecting the tailed beasts, the interests will be affected. After collecting the tailed beasts, the 4th Ninja World War will begin. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 58, Shinra Heavenly Expedition. With Kamui, I can come and go freely in the ninja world. With Kamui, Laozi is inherently invincible. Looking at the 6 cages on the field, Obito once thought about killing these people directly. However, this is not what Obito wants to do. If we do this, what is the difference between this and starting a war? By that time, even if Obito unified the ninja world, most of its people would have been killed or injured. It will take a very long time for the ninja world to recover from this situation. Moreover, there are 3 major regions, Rain Shinobi, Konoha, and Sand Shinobi. After all, Rain Shinobi is the only one who can truly follow Obito's orders. Because it was Obito who gave them a good life. As for the Konoha region, and the Sand Shinobi region, they are not ruled by Obito. Although the 3 villages have merged into the current ninja village, the premise of stability is that Obito has the ability and power to protect the village. The village mentality is deeply rooted in the minds of villagers in each village, and they only recognize the shadow of their village. That's why Obito retained the positions of Hokage and Kazekage. Obito wants to use them as a medium to better control the 2 villages. After all, changing one's mindset is difficult. The old ninjas have deep-rooted ideas. Only the new ninjas were instilled with the idea of, the ninja village is one family, from the very beginning. Only when the next generation, and even the next generation of new ninjas grow up, can Obito's ideal be truly realized. So, even though Obito wanted to kill all these cages, he couldn't do it. However, I believe that Obito has the strength and means to do so. Looking at Obito, who was extremely calm. The Reikage was furious. His body was instantly covered with lightning-style armor, Thunderduck neck. The Reikage instantly hugged Obito. The raging lightning attribute chakra filled the Reikage's body, stimulating his cells and greatly increasing the Reikage's agility and strength. This is Cloud Shinobi Village's understanding of lightning-style chakra, and it is also Rain Shinobi's unique ninjutsu. Damn it! Onoki cursed inwardly when he saw that Reikage had launched the first attack. Now is not the time to fight. Dead man. However, they were tied to the same rope, and when Unoki saw the Reikage taking action, he couldn't just stand there. Dust release, original world separation technique. The cube slowly appeared. Fast delivery, fast shipping. Minato is faster. Minato was behind Onoki in an instant and he said, "I'm sorry." Then Minato disappeared with Unoki in an instant. Forcibly interrupted Onoki's spell. The Reikage's target is Obito. However, Obito refused to take a step back. He looked at the Reikage with a teasing look in his eyes. Pain took a step forward, and when the Reikage was about to arrive, Pain said with a cold look in his eyes, "Shinra Tensei." In an instant, a powerful repulsive force burst out from Pain. The collision of the Reikage's impact force and Pain's repulsive force seemed to make time pause. Obito could clearly see the tiny lightning bolts jumping out of the Reikage's body. The powerful repulsive force made it impossible for the Reikage to move. He held out for 3 seconds against the Shinra Tensei that was able to deflect everything. 3 seconds later, the powerful repulsive force directly sent the Reikage flying. The Reikage's body smashed through the wall and flew outside. But the next moment, Reikage quickly appeared again. Because of his speed, so fast. "Little devil, you are looking for death." Pain looked at him and said, "It is foolish to challenge God." Challenging God is foolish. Shinra Tensei. This time, Reikage was able to hold out against the repulsive airflow for 4 seconds. I believe that even Pain cannot use Shinra Tensei of this level frequently. The Reikage was flung back again. However, this time, Pain stepped forward, looked at the Reikage who was flying backwards, and then clasped his hands together. Planetary devastation. A dark gravitational point was thrown out by Pain. Suddenly, countless pieces of rubble mixed with Reikage formed a huge meteorite in the sky. After Pain used the planetary devastation, Nagato's face turned pale. After all, sharing the chakra of 2 people to be able to seal the Reikage's planetary devastation requires a lot of chakra. After seeing this, Darui was about to make a seal, but countless pieces of paper gathered together to form a paper man and appeared behind Darui. Conan held a paper kunai in his hand. Then he said, "Don't move." Darui tried to resist, but she said, "Don't move. Reikage is fine. With Reikage's physique, this meteorite can only seal him, not kill him." Darui nodded, feeling the sharp edge on his neck. I looked at the paper kunai out of the corner of my eye. Although this kunai was made of paper, Darui had no doubt that it could pierce his throat. Reikage's side is completely under control. On the Tsuchikage side, Onoki was teleported away by Minato. After Minato came back, he looked at the yellow and black soil behind Onoki. The two of them did not dare to act rashly. Onoki didn't know where he was teleported to by Minato using Flying Thunder God, and he didn't know when he would be able to come back, while Kuretsuchi and Yellow Earth didn't dare to provoke Minato at all. The reputation of Yellow Flash is not just talk. Only Sunagakure and Kurigakure remain. In the Iron Kingdom, the people of Sunagakure and Kurigakure had not yet joined the battle. Moreover, Sunagakure is too weak. There is only one Gaara who awakened the absolute defense, and he is quite powerful. Temari and Kankuro are just 2 bastards. Kankuro never had any outstanding achievements in his life. His only strength and achievements were what he picked up from Scorpion. During the 4th Shinobi World War, Temari once blew away Lord Madara with a fan. This feat was enough for her to brag about for the rest of her life. But now, they are somewhat inadequate. This also shows that Sunagakure's weakness is not fake, they are really weak. Obito looked at Mifune and he said, "General, you can see that this is the situation. Rain Shinobi, Konoha, and Sand Shinobi are a team. Cloud Shinobi, Rock Shinobi and Mist Shinobi are a team. Now, it depends on how you stand. Don't forget, the Iron Country is a neutral country." Mifune asked in a deep voice, "What on earth do you want to do?" Obito said, "As you can see, unify the ninja world." Mifune stood behind Mizukage and said, "I don't want to see you do this, old man." After seeing Mifune choose a side, Obito sneered, "Haha, isn't the Iron Country a neutral country? Wouldn't it be better for you to just be a neutral country?" Mifune said, "I understand the principle of the lips and teeth being cold. The Iron Country is also a great country. Do you dare to swear that you have no desire for the Iron Country?" Obito said without hesitation, "I swear to my ancestor, Uchiha Madara. I, Uchiha Obito, will never touch the Kingdom of Iron. If you violate it, God will strike you with lightning." Quote. Obito said with a grin, "General, I have finished my oath, you can stand in the middle." Mifune's face turned blue and purple. He didn't expect that Obito would swear just like that, and there was nothing wrong with swearing to Uchiha Madara, but he just didn't believe Obito. Obito's frivolous appearance made Mifune feel that he could not respect Uchiha Madara at all. He said slowly, "I don't believe you." Obito said, "You made me swear, and I did. But you still don't want to be a neutral country. Do you look down on me? Or are you kidding me? Old man, don't be shameless. Nagato, stop Mifune. Chapter 59 Comments from Later Generations. Hearing Obito's order, Nagato instantly approached Mifune. Mizukage saw this and blew a mist of air at Nagato. Boil style. However, a blue protective shield appeared on Nagato's body. The protective shield absorbed all the chakra in Terumi Mei's mist and then Nagato jumped up, directly before Mifune could react. Just hold his head. Nagato pressed Mifune's head to the ground, and Mifune instinctively wanted to draw his sword to resist. However, a mechanical arm appeared on Nagato's shoulder. Shira rode. The mechanical arm extended a cannon and pointed it at Mifune's head. "Don't move." Mizukage's body trembled, and then he quickly formed a seal, lava style. Before Terumi Mei could finish the hand seal, a hand grabbed Terumi Mei from the void, and Obito's head appeared from the Kamui space. He said to Terumi Mei, "Come in." Then, space twisted and Obito's figure appeared. Terumi Mei's figure disappeared without a trace, and Chojuro shouted, "Where's Mizukage-sama?" Harami flounder, liberate. A branch appeared in Obito's palm, and it pierced directly into Chojuro's chest. Suddenly, wood style burst out and exploded directly on Chojuro's back. Chojuro. Ching watched this scene, his eyes bloodshot with anger, and he shouted at Obito, "You, kill Chojuro." Obito said, "Right, because he wants to kill me too." "Why, do you want to do something to me too?" The Byakugan in his blue eye sockets activated, and he stared at Obito, trying to find Obito's flaws. However, the more he looked, the more frightened he became, because Obito's entire body was covered in blue chakra, and he had no flaws. Even though he watched Chojuro die. This made Ching extremely painful and angry. But reason told him, "If I resist, I will die. So, I cannot resist." He lowered his head towards Obito, and it was this lowering that made Ching unable to raise his head again. Perhaps, one night in the future, when Ching tosses and turns, he will think that he should have fought Obito to the end back then. Even if he died with Chojuro, it would be much better than now. Obito's side has an absolute advantage. Both the shadow, or the shadow's guards, were controlled by Obito. Although Mifune was subdued, he was still very stubborn. He said, "You are now in the Iron Kingdom. As long as I give the order, the warriors of the entire Iron Kingdom will chop you into pieces." Obito laughed and said, "Are you kidding me? Do you think that the warriors of your Iron Kingdom can be a match for the tailed beasts?" Hearing this, Mifune fell silent. Indeed, no matter how many samurai there are, they are no match for violent monsters like the tailed beasts. Obito said calmly, "My one tail, but he's lonely in Kamui space." The speaker may not mean it, but the listener may take it seriously. Minato heard, "One tail," and he instinctively looked at Gaara. Wasn't Gaara the Jinchuriki of one tail? However, Minato did not feel the violent power of the tailed beast from Gaara's body. This made Minato's heart beat faster. Listening to Obito's naked threat, Mifune snorted coldly, "What on earth do you want to do?" Obito said, "Don't you know what I want to do? Have you seen this ninja world? As long as there is a little dispute over interests, it will lead to struggles of all sizes, and even develop into a war. This kind of ninja world is broken. Life on Earth is but 100 years, and I cannot live these 100 years in vain. I want to reform the ninja world and make it truly one family. Although I know this process is very difficult. Even Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama have never done this. But I won't regret it. Whatever I decide, I will do. Even though there will be endless abuse, I don't care. The right and wrong, merits and demerits, will be judged by future generations." Listening to Obito's brainwashing ideals, Kuretsuchi's eyes trembled. She actually felt that Obito was right. A word of right and wrong, merits and demerits, left to future generations to judge, made Haitu's heart beat faster and faster. Yes, the current ninja world. It's definitely going to break down. Obito now owns half of the ninja world, and he is fully capable of destroying Iwagakure first, then Cloud Shinobi and Mist Shinobi. But Obito didn't do that. Just as Obito said, he doesn't want to start a war. What he wants is to conquer the ninja world with the least loss. What he wants is an intact ninja world, not a ninja world that is about to be destroyed with most of its people killed or injured. Kuretsuchi looked at Obito's figure. Suddenly, she felt that Obito was so handsome and his idea was right. Once this idea came up, it took root in Haitu's heart and became difficult to remove. No one noticed. Behind a pillar, a pair of red eyes flashed. Only Ching saw the familiar green chakra flash by in a trance. However, he was immersed in the grief of Chojiro's death and couldn't extricate himself. After a moment, Nagato let go of Iron Country Mifune. The planetary devastation disintegrated, revealing the disheveled and angry Reikage inside. The long planetary devastation seal allowed the Reikage to calm down. He came to the dilapidated conference hall and stared at Pain coldly. Pain's indifferent Rinnegan also stared at the Reikage. And Tsuchikage also appeared from the horizon. He rode a rock, panting, "Damn Hokage. You actually sent me to the ruins of Kannabi Bridge. I'm so tired. The old man is coming." Quote. Obito looked at everyone and said, "Everyone is here, right? You should be able to see it. I have the power to kill you. But I don't want to do that. I'm here to tell you. I must build a perfect world. No one can organize it." I'll listen to what Obito said, and he said, "Wait, Mizukage hasn't come back yet." However, Obito seemed not to have heard these words, and directly disappeared from the so-called Six-Cage Summit with the Ninja Village. Chapter 60, Imprisonment of Mizukage. Before Obito left, of course he heard what Chojiro said, but he just smiled. Your Mizukage can't come back. In Kamui space. The great Mizukage looked at this strange space in surprise. The whole space is in black and gray tones, and countless cubes float irregularly in this space, forming the ground of this space. Damn it, where the hell is this? Terumi Mei released chakra, but she felt the space was boundless. Suddenly, Terumi Mei sensed an extremely powerful chakra. The reserves of this chakra are even stronger than mine. Thinking of how she was attacked, Terumi Mei felt delighted and she quickly ran towards the direction where she sensed chakra. Then, Terumi Mei was confused. Because, she saw One Tail. One Tail is playing with sand in a huge desert. This is the chakra that Terumi Mei senses. I thought it was a person, but it turned out to be a board-tailed beast. Terumi Mei left in silence. Not long after, Terumi Mei sensed another strange energy. This energy is not chakra. It was a kind of energy that Terumi Mei was very unfamiliar with. However, this energy deeply attracted Terumi Mei and attracted her to check it out. Come to the place where energy is emitted. Terumi Mei was stunned. She was stunned looking at the huge and ferocious Geto statue. Just at this moment, a man's voice sounded in Terumi Mei's ears. Hello, Mizukage. Do you feel it? Do you feel this energy? Do you know what this is? Quote. Terumi Mei frowned, then her muscles tensed, then she raised her long legs and kicked Obito. However, this move still penetrated Obito. Hollow's ability is effective no matter in which space. Obito looked at Mizukage and said, Mizukage, don't be so excited. Don't you want to know what this is? Terumi Mei shouted, I don't want to. Let me out now. Obito seemed not to hear what Terumi Mei said, he just kept talking to himself, this is the Geto statue. You may not know what the Geto statue is. Let me tell you. The Geto statue is the shell of 10 tails. The 9-tailed beasts were separated from 10 tails. It can also be said that 10 tails is the source of all chakra in the ninja world, so you are attracted to it. Quote. Terumi Mei frowned slightly. Why are you telling me this? She instinctively felt that something was wrong. Obito said, do you know why I told you? I believe you have seen One Tail Shukaku. Terumi Mei's eyes widened and she blurted out, you want to collect the tailed beasts and get 10 tails. Obito smiled, you guessed it. Terumi Mei said, no, you will arouse the hostility of the entire ninja world. Obito smiled slightly, yeah, but, I don't care. Because from the moment I survived, I was destined to be the enemy of the entire ninja world. Terumi Mei's face was uncertain because she thought she seemed to know some incredible secret. Terumi Mei felt cold all over, and she asked Obito, how can you let me go? Obito smiled slightly, and he said, you know my secret, how can I let you go? Terumi Mei was shocked, her heart sank, as expected, he would not let her leave. But, it's not impossible. Obito smiled. However, to Terumi Mei, this smile seemed so evil and sinister. However, Terumi Mei gritted her teeth and asked, but what? Obito said nothing, brushing her bangs aside. Terumi Mei's entire delicate face was revealed. Her skin is white, tender and smooth, like a freshly peeled egg. Terumi Mei felt Obito's sudden intimate gesture and was a little overwhelmed. She couldn't understand what Obito was up to. Therefore, she did not dare to act rashly and could only allow Obito to act recklessly. Obito said, "Such beautiful eyes, why block them?" Hearing this, Terumi Mei's heart trembled. She didn't know how to answer. Obito suddenly remembered Terumi Mei from Boruto's legend, who was still not married even at that time. She also said, "I was also a beauty back then." Terumi Mei said it well. According to Obito's aesthetics, the four most beautiful people in the ninja world are Rin, Tsunade, Terumi Mei and Hinata. However, thinking of the future Terumi Mei, Obito suddenly felt a little bored. He released Terumi Mei and said to her, "Join Rain Shinobi. This is the condition that I let you go." Terumi Mei laughed and said, "Impossible." Obito nodded, "Okay, you'll agree to it one day." Terumi Mei narrowed her eyes, held her chin and revealed her signature seductive smile. Then it seemed to have returned to its original state. She spoke as if she was a queen. As expected, all the guys in the Uchiha clan are handsome. Then, Terumi Mei performed the ninjutsu without even forming any hand seals. Water style, water wave technique. Originally, Terumi Mei thought that this unexpected move would hurt Obito, or at the very least, make him embarrassed. But Terumi Mei overestimated herself and underestimated Obito. For Obito, Kamui is almost a passive skill. Unless you have the speed of the second stage of Flying Thunder God, you have a chance of encountering Obito. Moreover, that is the premise of the single-eyed Kamui. The current Obito is the double-eyed Kamui. Hollow up and do whatever you want. Terumi Mei was not upset when she saw that her sneak attack failed. She smiled and said to Obito, "It seems that the handsome guys of the Uchiha clan are more than just handsome." Obito glanced at her and left without saying anything. One day, Obito will conquer this proud woman himself. But today is not the time. After returning outside, Obito discovered that Minato had been waiting for him. Seeing Obito appear, Minato stood up and looked at Obito, wanting to say something but stopping himself. Obito smiled slightly. Now he was getting down to business, and not a word he said at the six-cage meeting was superfluous. Minato's reaction was also within his expectations. Seeing that Minato was hesitant to speak, Obito said, "Sensei, just say whatever you want to say." Minato thought of Kushina. He gritted his teeth and said, "Obito, you said before that one tail is in your Kamui space." Obito nodded, "Yes." Minato said, "But isn't Gaara the one-tailed Jinchuriki being pulled out of one tail? Why hasn't he died yet?" Obito said, "Because of Chiyo. She developed a technique that could revive a Jinchuriki whose tailed beasts had been stripped away." Minato was overjoyed, but Obito's next words made Minato feel like he was falling into an ice cellar. But, after using that technique, Chiyo died. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audiobook to stay updated with our latest stories, and never miss out on a great listen.